got time, cuz. Today I got time, cuz. You lucky on that day I was acting cool, cuz. Nigga, what's up? How gangster are you, cuz? I don't fuck with you, cuz. You disrespecting me. I don't fuck with you, cuz. You disrespecting me. I go hard, cuz.
Hey everyone, I hope you guys are doing good today. I'm not feeling the best, but I'm hanging in there. This probably ain't gonna be no super long live stream just because I really feel like going and laying the fuck back down. It's like the weather is getting to me. I think I'm coming down with a cold, but it is all good. I'm trying to hang in there. I'm on my skater shit today, even though it's cold out. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing good. So let me go ahead and explain. I talked to YouTube, and so basically my functions that control the chat and stuff, it's on a whole different part. It's not on the back end per se of where I normally look for stuff. So they showed me where to find it, and so we are gonna do that. Y'all like the hat? Thank y'all. Y'all like the beanie? Trying to be like Beanie Shapiro. So what we're going to do, I do have it all figured out now. Because we really did have a good old time when it was, the members only chat. So what I'm going to do, they show me how to do it without making the whole stream members only, because I think that was the issue. I thought that people could still see the stream, but it was a members only live stream. So what we will do, you guys will be able to watch it. But in order to comment, what I'm going to do is allow the members to be the ones to have the comment section and to comment for like at least the first 30, 40 minutes. It'll be just members only commenting. And then after 30, 40 minutes, we'll allow subscribers to come in and comment. If you have not been subscribed to me for more than a few days, you cannot comment. So we set that up. I don't want people hitting subscribe and then, unsubscribe and subscribe. Just move around. If you're not a real tea sipper, please stop coming to my stream, okay? Because y'all have just been a negative distraction and we don't need y'all here, okay? So we will turn it to members only chat. Everybody will still be able to watch the stream. And then like around, it's almost 6 o'clock. So probably like around like 6:15, 6:20, we'll make it where all subscribers, as long as you've been subscribed for more than 3 days, you'll be able to engage in the chat, okay? If you want to be able to engage in the chat sooner, then you can just pay, $1 for the membership if you want to do that. So we're going to go ahead and make it just members participating. So that way, at least the members still get something of their own. So I appreciate everybody who's been a member on this channel and been supporting this channel for years. I have new emotes coming. They should be done by this weekend. So there'll be new emotes that will be in the chat. I can't wait for y'all to see the ones we have created. They're cute. I love them. Okay. And then I went ahead and we updated the teacups. So I uploaded the new teacups on there. So the teacups are status, white, black, I think 2 months, all the way up to the rainbow teacups means that you've been here 4 years or longer. So we have all of that there. So, man, it's a lot going on in these streets still. Here in Minneapolis, people are still protesting and exercising their Fifth Amendment right before it's taken away. So there's still a lot going on here in the city. But, child, I'm just like I don't know what the fuck Nicki Minaj is just on at this point. I'm starting to believe what the streets are saying, that she needs help for her husband's status or, trying to get his felony expunged. I don't know what she's doing, but she went viral today for, coming out of nowhere and speaking with Trump. He paraded her out. And then there's also a separate interview on X that she was talking to some journalists. Let me see if I can find the video here. Okay, this is it. It's about 4 minutes long. So Nicki says she is Trump's #1 fan. Okay. It's very convenient. It's very interesting. She wasn't saying all this, years ago. It's just now she's #1. And I find that very funny that she's his #1 fan after the rap girlies were all siding with Kamala. It's giving, I just don't like these bitches and I'm trying to be different. That's what it's giving. Because she wasn't hollering that she was Team Trump when it counted. So, like I said, child, the money ain't moneying, and you're going to see a lot of these celebs, you know, switching sides, backtracking, pussy popping, and all that stuff. So let me share my screen real quick here. Give me just a second. Where's the YouTube? Okay, let me fix this. So we're going to watch the video here. Let me just, you know what? Okay, it wasn't in theater mode. So they are basically at some TrumpAccount.gov meeting, it looks like. So let me just fix the sizing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and watch this. He's going to bring her on, and she's going to come and talk.
My daughter, she went crazy when she heard that this was happening. I want to go. You know, she happens to be in the wrong state right now for that. But when she heard that there's a certain person that's here who's the greatest and most successful female rapper in history, Nicki Minaj. Come on. And, you know...
Objection. Why is he acting like his daughters are 12 and 13? Ain't Tiffany Trump and Ivanka grown as fuck in their 40s? Tiffany might be in her late 30s, but these are grown women. He'd been better off saying his granddaughter. Tell me, my daughter was super excited. I doubt it. Ivanka is rich as hell. She's not going to be boosted by a rapper. Maybe the granddaughter, but not Ivanka or Tiffany. Let's continue.
And Nicki makes a lot of cash. Not as much as Michael Dell. Not quite. Not as much. But that's okay. But Nicki makes a lot of money, and she's generously stepping up. She's investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in Trump accounts to support the children and really the children of her incredible fans. That's great. Focus on that. Why should you give to somebody else's fans? Give to your fans. I like that. But, and I just think she's great. You know, I've been hearing so much over the years, because I didn't know Nicki, and I've been hearing over the years she's a big Trump supporter and a Trump fan, and she took a little heat on occasion. Her community isn't necessarily, I tell you, we did pretty damn well with that, with your community, as we say. But Nicki has been an unbelievable supporter. She gets almost as much as Mr. Wonderful over here. He's been another one that's been so good. But I'd like to ask you to come up, Nicki. Come on up. Come on. She's been such a great supporter, and a great supporter of Trump accounts. And I said, I'm going to let my nails grow, because I love those nails. I'm going to let those nails grow.
Why would you, I mean, is that not, ain't this the people, you know, the team that's always going in on transsexuals and the gays? Why would a grown straight man want to grow his nails out to look like Nicki Minaj? I wouldn't even say that, and I'm a woman. Very odd from the family and the crew that don't like the LGBT. That sounds very gay to me, sir. Let's continue.
She's so good. She's been MAGA. What can I say? She's been with us all the way, right, Alex? She's been with us all the way, and just want to thank her. And it wasn't so easy. For you, it was easier, right? You want to come up? You want to come up? Mr. Wonderful, come on up here. You've been terrific. Come on up.
Hello. Well, I don't know what to say, but I will say that I am probably the president's #1 fan. And that's not going to change. And the hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more. And it's gonna motivate all of us to support him more. We're not going to let them get away with bullying him and, the smear campaigns. It's not going to work, okay? He has a lot of force behind him, and God is protecting him. Amen. Okay.
Y'all see her nails? Those are long, very feminine nails. They're not short. My issue, let me just keep going. Let's see what else.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's stay right here.
On behalf of all the entrepreneurs in America, I'd like to thank you, Mr. President, because we create 72% of the jobs. Companies 5 to 500 employees, and all we care about is...
Okay, I don't care what he has to say. Let me come back on the screen. This is a hot mess. Give me just a second here. All right, so y'all just saw what she had to say. Like I said, none of this makes any sense. He's claiming she's been supporting him for years and she's acting like she's been a fan for years. But when did all of this take place? Because most of the people who follow, the Republicans and MAGA, weren't these the same ones who were screaming hoes for Harris and saying that Meg Thee Stallion's a hoe, Cardi B's a hoe, and, Kamala has all these... hoes on her team. Don't Nicki rap about the same hoe shit? Don't Nicki run around, talking about sex and, peeing and her song Anaconda? She goes around dressed the same way, acting the same. Matter of fact, all these girls are her sons, right? In the words of Nicki. So it's very interesting now that she done put on a coat to cover her BBL. All of a sudden, they're trying to act like she's like this demure, classy chick. She rapped about the same things that this same group was calling hoe shit. Hoes for Harris. Those are Nicki's sons, right? So now they want to forget all of that. And, we don't care. It's just about her nails. The hypocrisy is just it's insane. And when did she also really announce this to her fans? Nicki has more gay fans than any of the rap girlies. Most of the Barbs are gay men, transgenders. That makes the majority of her fan base. Not saying that there's not women. There's also grown Barbs and all that stuff that are female. But the majority of her fans are LGBT. Even the name Minaj, that came to be because it's supposed to be a threesome, a ménage à trois. So is she about to give up all this stuff? Because my thing is, if she wants to go the conservative route, she can. That's her right. We all have the right to grow and change and, whatever. But you can't serve two masters. If you're going to be conservative all the way. So when she drops her album in March or whenever she plans on dropping it, I don't want to hear shit about sucking dick, getting money, don't fuck a broke dude if he ain't got no money. I don't want to hear nothing that don't have nothing to do with family values. I don't want to hear no shit about, having a girl eat you out but you're still straight. I don't want to hear none of that sexual shit. Keep the same energy. If you're going to be conservative, walk in that shit. Don't use the fans when it's convenient. Don't come making all this rap music about violence. And when I see the rap girls, bow, 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 bow. I got shooters. I don't want to hear none of that shit. She better be rapping about being a conservative wife and, holding the president's hand and, not showing off that big old BBL. She better be dressed with a coat and everything, very, very conservative moving forward. Because all I see is a bunch of bullshit and hypocrisy. Like I said, if she changes up and she lives that life, that's fine. But be consistent. Don't be up here talking about the first lady, acting like you, Melania, got the man's hand in your hand. But then when you drop that album, I don't want to hear shit about nobody getting pistol whipped, sunning these rap bitches. I don't even want to hear nothing vulgar. I don't want to hear nothing sexual. I don't want to hear how wet your coochie is. Don't care. I don't want to hear how much dick you ride, how much you and your husband fuck. I don't want to hear none of it. Keep it cute and classy. Yeah, at this point in time, I agree, Rake Vanity. She needs to drop a Christian album at this point in time. Since you standing with these good Christian folk. Like I said, they started the name Hoes for Harris. They said all these rap girls that were Team Harris were hoes because of their music, their lyrics, how they were dressing. Meanwhile, these same rap girls are her sons. Where you think they learned it from? Yeah, don't try and be a trad wife now. Keep that same ratchet energy. Child. Somebody says she held that, Ngozi says she held that hand longer than Melania does. Melania act like she don't want to be bothered with the man. She look like she's a long-suffering wife. She been ready. She been checked out that relationship, honey. I've never even seen Melania really hold his hand longer than maybe a few seconds for a photo op. Nicki trying to go where the money resides. So then there's this video on X. Let me see. Where this man was asking, she's sitting with this dude and he's kind of throwing shade, so it's kind of going viral. I haven't caught the whole interview, but this is just a snippet that's going viral. See if I can pull it up here. Okay, this is the video here.
Pretty good behind the seal, by the way.
Thank you.
I must admit, your competition, which really isn't competition, didn't really look good behind the seal when they were with Kamala Harris.
Oh.
Just saying.
Okay, it started clocking, but it's like he's trying to throw shade. But again, like I said before, while they're trying to throw shade at Kamala and trying to throw shade at the rap girlies who are on stage with Kamala, those are her sons. So what is the difference? They rap the same way she raps. Why they acting like, she's been doing Christian rap music for the past, I don't know how long this girl been out, 15 years. So, yeah, he was very messy for that question. So, yeah, a lot of people are going in on Nicki. You still got some of her barbs who still support her. And that's their right. Support who you want to support. But a lot of people really feel betrayed. Because, again, we're trying to figure out when this change came about. Because I never heard her talk about Trump before recently. And it seems to me she decided to really go full force to do the opposite of what the other rap girlies were doing. So to me, it doesn't come off as genuine. Plus, we all know the Republican Party, they pay very good to their influencers. They cut their influencers a nice check. That's why you have folks like Officer Totem and, many others who will do anything for that check. So now in other news, I want to go ahead and hit on this Kanye situation. So if y'all don't know, Kanye West has decided to apologize. Like I've been telling y'all now for the past few years, the money is not money, and especially in the music industry. Okay? Those checks aren't checking. Folks are being very frugal with their money and what they're going to spend it on. A lot of these celebrities are not speaking out. So I've seen a lot of people saying, you know what? These celebs are not speaking out. They're not saying anything one way or another as far as what's going on right now in this political climate with the things that are going on with ICE. You know, a lot of these hip hop, music stars, singers, they've been very quiet. You've had a few come out and speak. I think John Leguizamo, he went off today. I got his video. He went off earlier today. But a lot of them have been very, very quiet. So a lot of people are saying, okay, well, since y'all don't want to speak for us regular folks, don't ask us to buy your concert tickets. We're not going. Don't ask us to go see your movies. We're not watching them. And so, again, the money is not what it once was. You know, all that thinking you could shit on the same people who got you to where you're at. People are now seeing that that was an epic fail. Your fans and your supporters are the one who keep the lights on in your home. So I never understood influencers who act like they're bigger than the program, who act like these views are coming from anything else but their fan base. That is your clientele. So you have a lot of influencers also who are not speaking out. And again, everybody has their own reason for why they may or may not be speaking out. Some people may be scared. Other people just don't want to lose, you know, their sponsorship deals, or they don't want to ruffle feathers and stuff like that. And that's fine if that's what you choose to do. But then don't expect me to come to your meet and greet. Bitch, don't expect me to come to your, you know, your movies. Don't expect me to waste my hard-earned money. If you can't open your mouth to speak out when there's injustice going on, then expect the same energy from me. I will not be promoting your shit. I will not be going to your shit. So now we got Kanye West coming out here. He's coming and he's apologizing. What's very interesting about this is, if you guys don't know, there's a lot of drama in the red pill space. I did the video the other day about all that mess that went down in Miami with Sneeko, Nick Fuentes, the Tate brothers, and some other white boy that be beating himself in the face with a hammer, Cavalier, whatever his name is. They're all beefing now, and Myron, because basically Andrew Tate threw Sneeko under the bus. And I've been watching Sneeko streams as of late, and I have to agree with Sneeko. They're on some bitch shit. Andrew Tate is not a top G, but we been said this over here. Okay? Andrew Tate is scared, and it's okay to be scared, but why throw your friend under the bus? Because now everybody's acting like Sneeko's the one who played the song in the club. He said he played it in the car. We all seen him play it in the car, but it was Walter. And I don't know, is Walter Haitian? What is he? The one from Fresh and Fit? I know the other one, y'all say he's Sudanese or something. I don't know what the other one is, but they said he's the one who went to the DJ and had them play that Hail Hitler song. Okay? But now they're both throwing Sneeko under the bus. Myron is more neutral. He didn't really throw him under the bus. He's just very neutral. He feels like they should be arguing behind the scenes. But Sneeko feels like, nah, since Andrew Tate is going on a press tour, on a podcast tour, throw me under the bus, I'm going to address him publicly. And I feel him on that, right? So, y'all said he's from the Bahamas? Who? Walter? He don't look Bahamian. Shit. The ones I saw in the Bahamas was cute. I was like, oh, I did not know. I don't know. I didn't know he was Bahamian. Somebody said he's Bahamian, child. Well, we went to the Bahamas this spring. I didn't see no Walter. Look. Hell, maybe he is Bahamian. Bless his heart. I don't know. Somebody said Barbados. Not the Bahamians saying we not claiming them. Barbados. I ain't never been to Barbados, so I don't know what they look like in Barbados. But All I know, in the Bahamas. Okay, so he's from Barbados. Okay. So anyways, he told the DJ to play the music, but now he's trying to distance himself. So basically what has happened in the red pill space, everybody has thrown Sneeko under the bus. Nick is now happy that he's cool with the Tate brothers, so he's going at PBD. He's going at Patrick Bet-Davis and the Jewish man that's on the show. I forget his name. James or something like that. I don't like him just for the fact that he loves to go in on black people. He had a field day dragging the Somalians. He goes in all the time on African Americans. Anytime there's a story dealing with black folks, he got a lot to say. I think his name is Adam, not James, if I'm not mistaken. Adam. So it's very funny that once his community's talked about, he's on there wagging his finger and talking down to Andrew Tate. Oh, he was big mad. And it's like, what the fuck is this? Like, is this The View? Like, why are you acting like a soccer mom all of a sudden? Because when you get ready to talk shit about black people, you say with your whole chest. Okay? And Patrick Bet-Davis, he allows it. So I don't have no respect for none of them. They never keep that same energy. If you're going to be an asshole to everybody else, be an asshole to your own group too, bitch. So, anyhow, they've all thrown Sneeko under the bus. So now at this point, Sneeko's crashing out. He won't stop talking about the situation, right? So he feels like they're wrong. F the red pill. They should have all stuck together. It's just a song. It is what it is. So they basically all kind of just thrown Sneeko under the bus, and Sneeko's just out here fighting for his life. So we all know that Sneeko is a big Kanye fan. So I find it very interesting that there's all this drama behind Kanye's song, Hail Hitler. I mean, this was international news, what they did at that club, right? And so now all of a sudden Kanye West wants to come out with this apology. So I guess the apology that he did a few months ago, because remember 2 months ago, this ain't his first apology. We had posted this on Instagram. A few months ago, he was apologizing to some, I don't know, some Jewish pastor. Let me see if I could pull it up. Where'd it go? Yeah, I don't need a rabbi. Yeah, it was a rabbi. Rabbi Yoshi Yahoo. I don't know how to pronounce his name. But we're going to watch the video. So I guess because no one paid him any mind because he looked stupid, because he talked all this shit, you done hyped up, your little homies, because Sneeko, Nick Fuentes, they're all Kanye's little homies. So you done hyped them up. And now you're sitting here in your feelings, and you apologized a few months ago. Nobody cared. So then he came out 2 days ago with this long letter. So let's watch the apology from 2 months ago of Kanye apologizing. So this is him apologizing to the rabbi.
I'm really blessed to be able to sit here with you today and just take accountability. I was dealing with some various issues, dealing with bipolar also. So it would take the ideas I had and have me take them to an extreme where I would forget about the protection of the people around me and myself. So I wanted to come and take accountability. Sometimes people aren't that knowledgeable about the bipolar and the cause or what causes it and the way you act when you have this disease. So it's like if you left the house and you left your kid at the house and your kid went and messed up the kitchen and messed up the garage and messed up the living room. Now when you get back, it's your responsibility because that's your child. And that's the way I look at it. It's like I gotta go clean up the kitchen, I gotta clean up the living room, I gotta clean up the garage. Yeah, and it's a big deal for me as a man to come and take accountability for all the things that I've said. And I really just appreciate you embracing me with open arms and allowing me to make amends. And this is the beginning and the first steps and the first brick by brick to build back the strong walls.
That's it. Say dice Yandut Rabbi said the Judaism I natna לעולם את התשובה. The Judaism brought to the world a way for someone when he regret about something that he has done wrong. היהדות חיה על התשובה. And the Jews live on this way of if someone did something.
Okay, all right. I can't watch anymore. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I guess, child. I just think it's very weird. I know people who are bipolar, and they've never crashed out in the way that Kanye has crashed out. No, what it is Kanye thought he was bigger than the program. And I don't believe in any type of racism, anti-Semitism. I believe that we all have a right to live life, you know what I'm saying? Take care of our families and not be harassed, not be picked on, not be bullied. Kanye thought he was bigger than the program, and that's the problem. And he thought that him, disrespecting that community and, it was all fun and games. He was trying to sell his album. He was trying to be an edgelord, like the young kids say. And it blew up in his face. Because one thing I will say is that they love to see a black man come back and apologize, beg and crawl. I have yet to see Nick Fuentes meet with anybody from that community and apologize for anything. If anything, his ass been doubling down. So that was Ye 2 months ago. So nobody cared. People looked at that and just kept right on scrolling. And so I find it very interesting, the timing of everything that's going on with these young red pillars. Because Kanye was hanging with all these young boys 2 years ago. He had them in the studio. A lot of them were there when he was making the song. He was using them for clout. They were also using him for clout. So it's very interesting now that they're under the gun, so to say, for that whole club situation. Now Kanye wants to come out with a long apology. So let me find the news clip talking about the apology. Okay, let me pull this up here.
Apologizing today for, in his words, reckless behavior. He took out this full-page ad in the Wall Street Journal. Ye did, titled, "To Those I've Hurt," going on to say he is not a Nazi or an anti-Semite and that he loves Jewish people. You probably remember over the last couple of years, Ye said a lot of anti-Semitic things, a lot of racist things. At one point, he sold T-shirts with swastikas on them. He had previously apologized for his anti-Semitism, then took that apology back before this apology now. And in this...
Hold up. I just thought about something. Objection. Wasn't he also wearing a White Lives Matter shirt with Candace Owens? Making fun of Black Lives Matter? Now that I think, where's the apology to black folks? Why is he not taking a full-page ad to also apologize to the black community? Didn't he say slavery was the choice? See, all this shit is starting to flood back to me now. But let's continue. I just thought about that shit. He was selling White Lives Matter shirts. Not saying that white lives don't matter, but he didn't need to sell no T-shirts saying that. That's like if we're at a cancer march and people are jumping up talking about, I have asthma. Okay, we get it. You have an illness too, but we're talking about the cancer patients right now. Goofy.
This ad, he says his behavior stems from an undiagnosed brain injury caused by a car crash he was in 25 years ago.
Oh,
we should note the
God.
timing of this here, just a few days before his 12th album is set to drop. Chloe Malas is covering this one for us. I think some of the reaction has been interesting to this too, including from the Anti-Defamation League and from others as well.
You know, Hallie, it's complicated. I have covered Kanye West for 17 years, and when I was at CNN, I did, a really in-depth report at the time that Kanye had planned to name an album of his Hitler. I think that a lot of people are struggling with this public open letter, this apology coming from Kanye West, because like you pointed out, Hallie, he has apologized in the past. And in this, he writes, to those I've hurt, he says, bipolar disorder comes with its own defensive system, denial. When you're manic, you don't think you're sick. Everyone else is overreacting. But I will say that Kanye West, now Ye, he has said multiple times very publicly that he does not suffer from bipolar disorder. He's actually said that he suffers from autism, or that he has autism, that he has other issues, but that this was not one of them. So he was very public about saying that he did not suffer from bipolar disorder. And now he's saying a few days before his new album is coming out that he is not a Nazi, that he loves the Jewish people. And it makes you wonder, is he being sincere? It's all come down to him wanting to sell albums, Hallie.
Yeah, Chloe, and the ADL saying to the New York Times that the truest apology would be for him to not engage in anti-Semitic behavior in the future. Chloe Malas, lots to watch on that front. Thank you very much for bringing us that context.
So now, even with all that mess he did, all that, kissing the ring and taking out a full-page ad in the Washington Post, the New York Post, whatever, they're still telling him it ain't good enough. They don't care. Even Piers Morgan was on, I think, Twitter last night talking about we don't care, we don't accept his apology. Piers, are you Jewish? Let the Jewish community speak for themselves. But even Piers is saying that they don't care. I believe, again, the money is not moneying. And when you have a certain level of wealth, that comes with a lot of bills. Especially when you're a multimillionaire. That money just doesn't sit in your account. Because the more fame, the more status you have, the more expenses. He has to pay for security. Not just for him, but his wife. Apartments, homes. I don't think he pays child support, but you have to spend a lot of money. And I think his money is running low. It's very convenient that he's issuing this apology. One, because of all this hoopla that's going on right now with that Hail Hitler song that those boys were playing, those grown men were playing in the club. I think he's trying to capitalize off of his name buzzing, but he also doesn't want to be attached to that because he's trying to drop his new album. So he doesn't really want them, reminding the public that he had this song not even a year ago. Matter of fact, Andrew Tate was playing the song a year ago with his whole chest. So for him to try and act like he's so offended is just very disingenuous. So I think at this point, Kanye has really messed up. I read bits and pieces of his apology. I'm not going to read it now. I just don't care to. It's super long. But for him to just simply be simply sitting there blaming bipolarism or being bipolar, I think that's BS. There's a lot of people who suffer from being bipolar, who suffer from mental health issues, and that doesn't make them racist or anti-Semitic. So Kanye needs to sit down. Again, like I said, the money is not moneying. And he's realizing that, hate it or love it, he needs them to be able to push his music and his brand and what all he wants to do. I think he was trying to be an edgelord and it blew up in his face. And now he's had to come back, crawling back like a wounded puppy. So That is on him. I don't feel bad for him. Okay, looks like Moneybag Mo's in the building. Thank you, Mo, for the $499.99. Thank you so much, sis, for this support. I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you. It's always a blessing when Moneybag Mo comes through. I appreciate you, sis. So it looks like we have, let me see, we have any other super chats here. Inner Peace sent $20. Let me expand this a bit. Hold on. Okay, she said, it's silk press season. Can we see those inches? I've been watching you since you was doing hair tutorials. My daughter is 17. I think she was 2. We love you here in my house. You're number one. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sis, and thank you for the super chat. Thank you for being an OG tea sipper. Let's see here. Rose Marin sent $4.99, says, T, she's in danger of losing her home because of losing a lawsuit. The person suing got jumped and injured by her. That's why the $500K settlement. Okay, you're talking about Nicki. You're talking about the guy that her husband punched in the jaw and they had sued, but they didn't show up to court. I did hear about that. Oh, I believe that she's in it. She's looking for a check. And, you know, truth be told, the Dems don't pay a lot. They don't pay a lot. The Republicans definitely cut a check. So she's gone where the money blows. I wholeheartedly believe that. So thank you for the super chat. Let's see here. Lauren L says, I'm a member. Hey, thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Wavy Tay, what's up, Wavy? He said $19.99. He says, hey, Auntie, this is your favorite soldier checking in. The things I've seen from both sides show that our government is not serious. Also, Malcolm X warned the Black community about celebrity worship and how it will be our downfall. Yes, he did. Like I always say, if you go back and listen to Malcolm X's speeches, what was that, the bullet or the ballot? I think that's what it's called. But hell, a majority of his speeches, even though they took place in the 60s, they still resonate and can be applied today in 2026. That's how much, you know, how forward thinking he was. There are a lot of things that he said back then still apply to this day. And yeah, nobody should be like waiting on any celebrity or anybody famous to come save you. You got to make sure you have your own preparedness, because when shit hits the fan, nobody's coming to get you. Nobody's coming to look out for you. You got to make sure that you're able to look out for yourself and your family. So thank you for the super chat, love. Tony on the beat says, hey, T, looking good. I love the hat. Glad to catch a live and sip tea. Shout out to the Discord. Keep speaking truth to power. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I said Tony. I meant Troy. Troy on the beat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Selena 290985 sent 10. Says, lovely T, I've been watching you since I was pregnant with my firstborn. She's 18 now and watches you too. Tea sippers for life. Would love for you to come to the UK. Keep on keeping us informed. Stay safe. Thank you so much. And God willing, maybe one day I will be able to come out to the UK. You know what I'm saying? Once I get my health in order and everything, I would love to eventually come out there, because I know I have a lot of UK tea sippers. So thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Let's see here. Namendia. Sorry if I mispronounced it, but it looks like you go by Natalie. She says, I loved your video on the game and Shanice. At 30, you know the difference between the exception and the rule. She was just the rule. Yeah, and I, you know, like I said, I can give her a little bit of grace for the fact that we do put a lot of pressure on women once they hit 30. You know, especially if you're the type of woman, you know, and you want kids. You have some people who don't want no kids. They're child free and they're cool with that. But, you know, for the majority of women, they do want a family. They do want a baby. They do want a husband. And so the problem is, in society, well, mainly social media, we keep pushing this thing that once a woman is 30, you're old and over the hill. Nobody wants you. So you should just be happy, to get what you get. And I think that's kind of what might have happened to Shanice. As pretty as she is, I think she felt like her biological clock was ticking, and people act like women who are over 30 should just roll over and die. And I think she got herself caught up. She really believed that the game was running on her. I don't know why, but she did. And you would think that her mama, as close as their relationship is, that her mom would have been there to let her know, yeah, nah, this ain't it. He might be a good father, but I guess for me, I just hate when I see people who are child free, who don't have any children, and then they end up getting, having a baby with somebody who got a bunch of kids. I prefer for people, if you don't have no kids, I prefer that you get with somebody who don't have no kids. I just feel like that's more special. I don't know, maybe I'm just old school, but I just feel like even for men, if you're a man who don't have no kids, I prefer that you get with somebody who don't have no kids. So that way it is special for the two of y'all. I don't care. I don't want my sons having their first child with somebody who got 4 baby daddies. Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? And that'd be the same if I had a daughter. I don't want my daughter, being the 5th baby mama. So I just hate the fact that she did that. Now, that might be old school. People might get offended. I don't give a shit. That's just how I feel. Because some people get off on that. I'm going to purposely get this woman pregnant because she don't have kids. Some men get off on that, and you got to watch for that. He had no intentions of taking her seriously at all. He just wanted to make her a baby mama, just to say, I bagged a baddie. That's all that was for him. It was just conquest. So we got to start telling this next generation, men and women, value your seed. Don't just be out here impregnating somebody because you think they're a baddie. Some of these baddies have are a few eggs short of a dozen. Just because somebody's pretty don't mean that they're not batshit crazy. And stop thinking just because you're 30, you're over the hill. Don't let these red pill dudes fool you. Because a lot of the young dudes really like women over the age of 30. So don't let nobody, make you feel like because you're 30, you're over the hill. Those are just bitter people who say that. Because most people who are spewing that logic, you got to ask yourself, is anybody even checking for them? Young or otherwise? If there isn't, money for them to trick off? If they didn't have the money and the podcast equipment that they had, would 21, 22-year-olds really be checking for these dudes? Absolutely not. So, yeah, I think that's what happened to Shanice. She got caught up in that whole society. You're getting older. You know what I'm saying? Your eggs are about to be scrambled. She fell for the okie doke. Because you can just hear how hurt she still was. And for Evelyn to just think this shit was funny as a mom, that just blew me. I don't care how old your child is. When your child is hurting, as a parent, you feel away. I would have got into defense mode. But she's over here kikiing with the baby daddy like there was something funny. Just very weird. But see, that's what happens when you got a mom who's in competition with her daughter. And that's another issue. You got folks in their 40s and 50s in competition with people half their age. There was people arguing with me in the comments talking about, oh, you're wrong for saying that she's middle-aged. Bitch, what the fuck is wrong with just saying the truth? 50 is almost past middle age. What are y'all talking about? Once you hit 40, you're considered middle-aged. I'm middle-aged, and that's okay. Why does getting older, why is that such an offense to y'all? Why are y'all out here in competition with people who are young enough to be your kids? I'm not in competition with nobody 25 and under. That's weird to me. They're young enough to be my child. Like I told y'all before, I don't even argue with young people in my comments. I'm not arguing with people that I could have gave birth to. So I find that very weird when people be in their 40s, 50s, and you're mad when somebody uses the term middle age. What am I supposed to call you, a youngster? Yes, 50 is past middle age. And that's why I said that. Like, she's literally talking like, oh, I'm a young grandmother. No, the fuck you're not, bitch. What are you talking about? I know young grandmothers who became grandmothers in their 30s. What are you talking about? You're the average age of a grandmother whose child was not a teen parent. But she's acting like she's like this young grandmother at 50. What the fuck are you talking about? But again, that's what happens when you got grown adults in their late 40s and 50s in competition with people half their age. She's in competition with her daughter. That's what that is. It's weird. It's weird. Thank you. Nurse Shasta said, I'm blessed to be middle-aged. That's how I feel. There's people really in the comments crying. You wrong for calling her middle-aged. 50's not middle-aged. It's like, what are y'all talking about? So if that's not middle-aged and you're 45 plus, then what do you call that? But see, that's the problem. You got a bunch of adults, men and women, who don't want to grow up. I've heard DJ Academics go in on, what's his name, Mano, talking about a senior teenager citizen or something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, DJ Academics, aren't you damn near 40, if not 40? You're not that much younger than Mano. It's just, it's like the age shaming needs to stop. It's not funny. And you have a lot of people who are so embarrassed to just be their age. It's weird. Middle-aged and proud, honey. Oh, look at all the it's been an hour. Let me go ahead and let the subs in to talk. Let's go ahead and bring in the subscribers. Come on in, y'all. Y'all got to been subscribed for a while, though. Let me customize it. Hold on. At least 3 days. All right. Subscribers can now come in and talk. Shit, the members had it popping. I almost forgot about the damn subscribers. Look, she... Haria Booty said, finally, woohoo! Come on in, subscriber. Oh my God, I was really waiting. I'm so... They came in here deep. Talking about freedom. Y'all are too funny. Well, welcome. Come on in, subscribers. Y'all can chat now. Okay, the members, they get the first, 45 minutes, hours to themselves. Now everybody's free to come in and chat. So y'all are too funny, I swear. Y'all are too funny. But thank you for that super chat. Who has sent that? I forgot who sent that super chat. But thank you. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Roger Peppers sent $10. Says, hello, lovely T. God bless you. This is my first super chat. I've been watching you since 2016. Have you seen iShowSpeed's stream? What's your highlights? What highlights have been with you about the motherland? When I tell you, I had to leave him a comment because he popped up on my Instagram. He went to over 23, 25 different countries in Africa. When I tell you, I am extremely proud of iShowSpeed. Y'all know I don't watch streamers. That's not my thing. The few times I had seen him in the past, I'm just like, yeah, I'm too old for this. It was a lot of barking and screaming. I didn't know if I'm like, is he okay? Is there something wrong with this little boy? I didn't know what the hell was going on. But I can see he's calmed down a lot. The day that it was his birthday, when he was turning 21, when I went on YouTube, because I was getting stuff together, I was doing my video, and he was live in Nigeria. And so my youngest had just came home from school. So we sat and we watched it. Like, not only is he live, he's live, in Nigeria, whoop, whoop. And I will say this. And some of y'all might get mad. You know, my fellow Nigerians, but you know me, I'm gonna keep it real. I did not like, for the most part, how he was treated in Nigeria. I think not everybody there, the ball was dropped. I expected better from Nigeria. I was disappointed with some of the stuff that I saw. And this is somebody, you know, from me looking in as a Nigerian, like just looking at it. When he went and he met the lady, you know, when they were putting him in the traditional gown. And so they were trying to give him a Nigerian name. And this young man said, they said, you're Yoruba? We're going to give you a Yoruba name. So then he said, well, what if I'm Igbo? And that that made me respect him. Like, wow, okay, he's really understanding like the different tribes. And I'm not Igbo, but just the fact that he said that, well, how do you know I'm not Igbo? And they just kind of dismissed it. I didn't like that. Because now you're perpetuating the tribalism, right? It's almost like, nah, you're not Igbo, you're Yoruba, and that's it. And I thought that was just very, I didn't like that. And I'm Yoruba, and it kind of made me feel away. So I don't know how the Igbo people felt, you know what I'm saying, in that little scene. And, you know, he ended up getting his name and stuff like that. And, of course, they gave him 2 Yoruba names and then an Igbo name to pick from. And the name he ended up picking was a Yoruba name. Because, okay, 2 out of 3, right? I just thought it was weird. Like, why are we pushing tribalism? Come on. Like, a lot of people who are watching it, y'all may not, you know, y'all may not picked up on it. But like I said, if you're Nigerian, you kind of I was just like, come on, we really want to do that? Then you had... Who was the okay, so V says as an Igbo was weird. Okay, I'm glad you peeped that, because like I said, I'm Yoruba, and I'm like, what was that about? Like, the boy brought it up. So that means that he's understanding our different tribes. And so to just kind of dismiss Igbo culture was just kind of like, come on. Then there was a Nigerian streamer, I forget his name. He had been talking shit about I Show Speed, because my son was kind of telling me about it. He'd been kind of talking shit. Oh, when he comes here, I don't care. I'm not paying him no attention. This boy done stalked I Show Speed the whole time trying to be seen. But I Show knew that the boy had talked shit about him. So he wasn't giving him no type of acknowledgement. Boy done tried to jump on top of his truck and fall out. It was too much. And then people begging him constantly for money. Come on. I was just like, come on. I ain't like it. It's bad enough when y'all beg regular folks for money. We didn't need to see that on the stream. And then the one dude who was supposedly the strongest guy in Nigeria, I Show Speed tried to give him, you know, a certain amount of naira, which would equate to $1,000. He told him no, he wanted $10,000. I felt like he was like, I felt he was low-key kind of disappointed in what happened in Nigeria. That's just me being real. Y'all can get mad. You know, I could care less. I think it kind of left like a little sour taste in his mouth. You know, it was just a bit too much. The begging, demanding that he throws money out of his car. It was like, dude, it's his birthday. It was a bit too much. It was a bit too much. It was. Whoo, okay. Shout out to my green, white and green. Y'all clocked it. B. Crypto said it definitely gave a stereotype energy in Nigeria. Yeah. I guess I'm going to have to be the one to say it. I was kind of disappointed. I was like, bruh. And then the one dude that tried to interview him, and again, I don't know all the Nigerian influencers. Y'all know the main one I watch is Very Dark Man. I was hoping he was going to run into Very Dark Man. I'm like, damn, that'd have been dope if him and Very Dark Man connected. But the one dude said he's the most popular interviewer in Nigeria. You interviewing this boy, you don't even know nothing about him. You like, you got congratulations on 50,000 subscribers. I Show Speed said 50,000 is 50 million. I'm in 50 million. Then he goes, it's your birthday. He said, yeah, I'm 21. Oh, okay. Well, you look very good. You look very healthy. How's it? Okay, he's 20. He's not 51. This is your interview questions? Okay, so my peoples, y'all are agreeing. Y'all peeped it. I did speak about the interview, Robert. I just hit on that interview. That fool said, oh, congratulations on your 50K subs. Really? You're not even watching the live stream as he's streaming, sir? Where he's literally stopping the stream to see if he's hit 50 million yet? And matter of fact, I recorded myself subscribing to him at the same time he hit 50 million. I don't know if I bought him to 50 million because when I hit it, it was like 4 other people. It jumped up that quick. I was just... No lies told. Okay, I'm glad. Thank you. By Doopsy. Yeah. He literally said, oh, you're 21. You look very healthy. You look good. How's he supposed to look? He's 21, sir. Did you want him to come out walking with a cane and a bad hip? Just because, again, he wasn't serious. He just wanted attention. I was kind of, yeah, by the time he left Nigeria, I was just like, damn it. I wanted to hit objection, but it wasn't my damn stream. It was too much. And when that dude told him, oh, $1,000? No, I need 10,000. I Show Speed was like, well, don't worry about it. It was too much. So I just have to keep it real. I didn't like the tribalism. I thought that was kind of, you know what I mean? Like, come on, let's show united front, especially when he's bringing up, Igbo. Yeah, they dropped the ball. Yeah. And so when I tell you, the Africa Wars, they've been going in. The Kenyans, he had a good time in Kenya. Ghana, I got to tip my hat off to y'all. Ghana shut it down for I Show Speed. Shout out to my Ghanaians. Y'all did that with that damn shea butter hut. I said, oh, hell no. Damn it. I forgot what. I don't speak Ghanaian. They was saying, rubbing that shea butter on him. Oh, he was loving that shit. I said, damn, I want to go into the shea butter hut. And then when she was eating it and he ate it, he's like, yeah, it tastes just like butter. I mean, he learned some. Ghana killed that shit. Shout out to my Ghanaians. Y'all showed him a good old time. Ghana killed it. Kenya. Yeah. South Africa. But that Ghana, yeah, Ghana, y'all did. Y'all even gave him a Ghanaian passport. Yeah. Yeah, Nigeria played into too many stereotypes, man. I was low-key disappointed, man. Sorry. Them shea butter girls were beautiful. Okay, where all these Ghanaians come from? Now all I see is Ghanaian flags. Where y'all been? Y'all did. Because it's been so funny, like, when I go, like, on Instagram or on some of his videos, you'll have, like, the different, people from, like, different African backgrounds and countries and stuff like that. And everybody's been saying the same thing. Yeah, Benin did good, too. Oh, yeah, Nigerian jollof is still king. Fourth tribe, Judith. Oh, yeah, our jollof rice is still the best. Y'all might have won the I Show Speed wars. As far as the jollof rice, that's ours, okay? But I think for me, we're not even going to I'm not even going to talk about the North Africans. I already talked about them in my last stream. Morocco and all that racist shit. I wasn't surprised by anything they did. They don't consider themselves African anyways. They don't like anybody that's sub-Saharan African and that has black features. So I don't. Next. But yeah, no, he did. Yeah. Oh yeah. Ivory Coast. People in Uganda was mad, talking about, oh, he didn't come to Uganda. And then I show Speeds, people had to check them in the comments like, nah, you talk to y'all's president. Because we tried to go to Uganda. And it was a bunch of nonsense, so we went to the next country. I'm not about to sit here and beg y'all. You know who he is? So shout out to all the African countries, though, that showed him love. Yeah, Ivory Coast as well. Yeah, he did a good job. I think what I really enjoyed about this, is that you have so many stereotypes, right? That's brought on by the mainstream media. The same stereotypes that they feed Africans in Africa about like African Americans and America in general is the same media that feeds Americans negative stereotypes about Africa. So one thing and that was the comment I left him, is that the fact that he came to Africa, he did more for representation, especially in the minds of young people, than anyone could have. The way he showed it in a positive light, he had so much respect, the way he participated. When he was doing that dance, he called it the hardest dance in the world. The fact that he was able to even do the dance, when he was spinning with the Yoruba people, when he was spinning around in a circle over and over, like he participated in everything. There were certain pictures of I Show Speed. There was one of him in Kenya when he's getting ready to go into the hut. You couldn't tell me he wasn't African. The way his abs were abbing, he had the little, he had the cloth on him. Like, he really embraced every single culture. He wasn't turning his nose up. He wasn't acting funny. He really came to embrace and learn the dances, and just, it was dope. And even when people were trying to press him, like there was another scene that happened in Nigeria where I don't know if he was an influencer, some skateboarder kept trying to get him to skateboard. And he's like, dude, I don't skateboard. And he kept trying to press him like, you need to skateboard. You need to skateboard for Ronaldo. So what are you talking about? Ronaldo's a soccer player. I don't skateboard. I do backflips. And I really thought that, that Aisha was going to eventually just, punch him in his mouth one good time and get him out of his face. But he didn't. He held his composure. I don't have a lot of patience for bullshit. He really held his composure, because just some of the shit that he was going through in Nigeria, I was so fucking disappointed. How you going to try and keep asking this man to skateboard? Once he said no, it's no. Skateboarding is not even Nigerian culture, so what the fuck are you talking about? That's California culture. If he wanted to skateboard, he could do it in Cali. So, now it was beautiful to watch. It really was. It was just dope just seeing him go and just get shown so much love, to see this young black man from America just be embraced and just shown so much love in Africa. Like, I know he's never going to forget that experience. And I thank him, and the ancestors thank him for bringing so many along on that journey. Because so many of us, aren't able to go back, or, can't go back, or just, it ain't cheap, let alone to be able to go to so many countries in a month's span. That was nothing but the ancestors guiding him. So, yeah, bless that young man. I loved it. I haven't seen all of them. I've been seeing different clips, because them streams be like 4 or 5 hours long, child. I be having stuff to do. But, I have been trying to catch them as I could. But we watched the Nigerian one. We had to watch that. So I was just kind of disappointed in some of what I saw. But other than that, a lot of the other countries made up for it. And it wasn't everybody in Nigeria, of course. It was just too much. It was a lot of attention seeking. The one car that was racing in front of him and doing the donuts. It was too much going on. Too much. It was, I was really disappointed. I expected more from the African giant. let me see. For the sake of Haiti says, him having a real black experience was super. As a Haitian American, when I'm home, I feel like a real human and not of color or less, just a human. I'm glad he got to experience it. Yeah. Somebody said apparently he met his relatives that he didn't know he had in Liberia. I saw a clip of that. They had the same last name as I Show Speed. And people were saying that they might have been Africans who were in America who went back to Liberia, after they, some Africans came back home to Africa. But they're saying he found some of his family members. So I got to watch the full clip of that. Somebody said, I enjoyed when he went to Angola, Kenya, Algeria, and Ghana. I got to watch the Angola one. Yeah, Burner Boy says that for all y'all. Like, no, I'm not just saying that just to be said. That's homage to Burner Boy because he's always saying he's the, African giant and he's Nigerian. That's where that comes from. But, yeah, it was good. It was good. I loved it. Like I said, I think especially with him being so young and he has such a huge fan base of young people. I think that was amazing for him to show people that there are major cities and skyscrapers and beautiful places all throughout Africa. Everybody's not living in fucking mud huts, So I loved it. For the parts that I saw, I loved it. So, shout out to him. Yeah, he's living his best life. He really is. He is living his best life at his age. What a blessing to be able to do that for your 21st birthday. He's lived more life than most adults. Shit, he's lived more life than I have. Shit. I ain't even gonna lie. But I hope that answered your question. Thank you for the super chat. Like I said, I had to keep it real. I was kind of low-key disappointed in some of the things I kind of beeped, that went on with him in Nigeria. But other than that, it was cool. But I just felt like he got a little bit better treatment in a few other countries. So, and that's just, me being real and unbiased. So, whoever's offended, be offended. I don't know what else to tell you. Let's see here. Oh, how long? Okay, I've been out here for an hour and 13 minutes. Okay. Okay, so Ultimate Firecracker says, Nigeria was doing the most and giving nothing but chaos. I'm Nigerian and I was disappointed. Yeah. I'm glad I wasn't the only one. I was just kind of like, as me and my son were watching it, I'm like, bruh. I'm getting secondhand embarrassment. Like, what are we doing here? It was a lot. It was a lot. Like I said, for most people, they might have missed it or didn't really pick up on certain things. But I picked up on all that shit. I didn't like the weirdo behavior that was going on. It was too much clout chasing. It was too much. It was too much. It's like, y'all are trying to take him to the club and whatever else. It's like, nah, really show him some stuff. They really I don't know, Ghana really stepped it up. They really showed him culture stuff in Ghana. They really did. So, yeah. But that's what they want. They want a separation, and I think as everybody, I don't care where you're from in the diaspora, if you're African American, Caribbean, you know what I'm saying? It's so much more that brings us together than divides us. And you can't let the media continue to play in our faces and act like, we're so much different or, these people think that they're better than because they were born on the continent or born in the Caribbeans, or you think you're better than because you were born in America. Nobody's better than anybody. At the end of the day, we're all black people of color, And then a lot of us have gone, our ancestors have gone through that transatlantic slave trade, so I just love the fact that he was just able to bring, not only just show that to a lot of young Black people, but, he has white fans, he has Asian fans, he has fans of every race. So to be able to show that on a global scale, like, this is Africa. Don't let what the mainstream media shows you to be the only representation that you have of Africa. So, like I said, shout out to him. Shout out to him. Maybe he'll do a Caribbean one next. Let's see here. Boogie Fizzy says, yes, as a fellow Ninja gal, that behavior was very project, bum behavior, low-class tribalism. Yeah. It was. I was just like, damn, bruh. Yeah. I didn't like it. I expected a little bit better, but, it didn't spoil his vacation. I think he was very, very patient. He was extremely patient with the stuff that people were doing to him in Ninja. He was very patient. When that man told him, I'm not taking $1,000. You give me 10,000. He was like, I'm not giving you anything. The entitlement is insane. Bianca, what am I wrong about? Don't just say, T, you're wrong. What am I wrong about, Bianca? Let me read a few more super chats. Brianna Sade says, Kanye, please, objection. Yeah, ain't nobody buying none of that shit that Kanye's talking about. At all. Let me scroll down a bit. Okay, Dexter Davis has gifted a membership. Thank you, Dexter. Appreciate you. King Devante says, funny how when people talk shit about the Jewish, gay, or disabled community, they have to apologize multiple times. When it comes to disrespecting Black people, it's, oh, well, they'll get over it. Facts. That's why I was laughing at Adam when he was in his feelings. The one on the Patrick Bet Davis podcast. I mean, he was going off on Andrew Tate. I said, I know this ain't the same motherfucker who sits up there all day, every day talking shit about Black people. Was making fun of Muslim names. Acts like what's going on in Palestine is no big deal. Not him and his feelings. That's my thing. Whatever's good for the goose is not good for the gander. And that's the shit I can't stand. Because Kanye has said a lot of disrespectful stuff to the Black community. And I haven't seen him go on not one apology tour apologizing to his own people. So I agree with you. Thank you for the super chat too. Appreciate you. See, so Bianca ain't replied. So Bianca's just typing just to be typing, huh? Don't have me turn this back to members only. Don't be in here just trying to start chaos, because I'm going to clock it. Let's see here. Somebody says, keeping it Jew 5VV. Send $2 says, Kanye pays $200,000 a month in child support. I don't believe that. Let me Google. I haven't heard that. Kim don't even need no $200,000 a month. That's crazy. Oh shit. Damn. Kanye West to pay what the hell? I didn't even believe it. Cause Kim looks like the type to be like, I don't need your money. I'm rich. You feel me? Let me show y'all this. I guess you're right. $200,000 a month? That is crazy. Kanye West to pay Kim Kardashian $200,000 a month. In child, I mean, I guess they do have 4 kids, but damn. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I had no idea he had to pay that much in child support. That's That's a lot of money. So I see why he's on a hobo apology tour. That's a lot of money. I don't know, because I would feel like Kim wouldn't even, I mean, I'm not saying he shouldn't pay child support, don't get me wrong. But I would assume, being that they both make really good money, it's just like, when you have the kids, you pay for them, we go half on medical, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just, I guess. Like, I could see she didn't have no money, but like, Kim got, hell, Kim's what, a damn near billionaire. That's a lot of money. Well, he chose her. Enjoy. Thank you for that tea. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Jaya Huntress in 499 says, "Hey, Auntie, did you ever find out about your son's friend that was detained?" Yeah, they were let out. He was eventually let out. The Christian, he was let. I don't know if he's back at Target or if he ended up quitting, but he was let out. So I don't want to say that he's okay, because that was very traumatizing, but he's free. So thank you for the super chat. Shout out to Eric. Eric just gifted 5 memberships. So thank you for that, Eric. Sakopa says Nicki is making 20 folks look really bad. Yeah, I don't know what Nicki's on. I really don't. K Mori Love says, "Yay, alive on my birthday. I'm Kizzy, makeup artist on Discord. Love you." Happy birthday, Kizzy. Thank you so much for the super chat. I hope you enjoy your birthday. It's Aquarius season, right? Yeah, because Capricorn season's over. So shout out to the Aquariuses out there. Let's see here. Kit sent $5 says, "It's funny about the biological clock thing. Science is saying it's men who had the biological clock, not females." Well, I know one thing that we did learn, well, I learned as of late, is that sperm gets old too. And a lot of these old men out here, and they, 60s and 70s, still impregnating people, a lot of them babies be having issues because that sperm is old. It's not as fresh as when it was in its 20s and 30s. They say a lot of that old sperm be swimming like this. And then the kids be coming out with all types of issues. So I don't know. For so long they said it was, the female's eggs is messed up, but now there's more research talking about that old sperm, that dust is causing issues too. So, so don't wait too long on either side. So all that, I don't have to have a baby, in my 20s or 30s. I can wait. I can still have babies when I'm 60, 70. Shit. Yeah, you can. But are they going to be the healthiest? So, you got to be careful for that. Let's see here. Denisha sent 999 says, "Hey T, have you heard anything about the bat virus that's supposed to be making its way to the States? I've been following you since 2013. Keep doing your shit." Thank you so much. I have heard about it. I haven't really looked into it, but I also heard there's another virus. I forgot what country, but there's another virus that's brewing. I want to say it's in India. There's some type of virus going on there too. So I have to look more into it, but I have been hearing bits and pieces. I just haven't gotten a chance to dig into it. But, it's that time of year. Just make sure y'all's hands are clean. If you need to wear a mask, put one on. But looks like C19 2.0 may be right around the corner, unfortunately. Let's see here. 24K V7 sent $20. Says, "Unfortunately, one thing about Nigeria is that if people know you have money, they will come in droves begging you. I went to my family in Nigeria, and my mother told me not to talk to anyone because of this reason. Yeah, I mean, it is very true. I mean, even that the lady with the baby that came from like across the highway to get some money, it was just a bit much. It was, it was too much. It was way too much begging. Lady Pinks and 199 says it was too much begging. I beg. So I'm glad there's other Nigerians in here agreeing with what they saw. It was way too much. Sharon 3758 says, I hear making Ghana laugh at us. At least they still prefer our jollof rice. Exactly. All right, so let me see here. I've been out here for an hour and a half. Let me get to the other topics here I want to get on. So let's talk about Candace Owens. Candace Owens is out here blasting Erika Kirk. They're saying that they have, Candace released a audio of Erika Kirk. Basically, this was like a month after Charlie died, if I'm not mistaken. And she does not sound like a grieving widow at all. So a lot of people are going in on Erika Kirk once again. So let me pull up that video here. Okay. All right, here it is. Let me share my screen real quick. Okay, so this is the audio here. Real Candace Owens shares TPUSA leaked audio of Erika Kirk. 11 days, not even 30. 11 days after her husband was assassinated. Okay. Cheerfully going over the numbers of his memorial event. Erika Kirk can be heard giggling and describing the merch sales and other analytics from his memorial after Kirk's passing. Very emotionless considering that her husband had just been murdered. But hey, we all grieve differently. So let's go ahead and, I haven't listened to this. I haven't heard it. So we're going to listen to it together. I've heard about it. I just haven't heard it.
Hi, everybody. I still love all these emoji Zoom things. Wow. I don't even know where to begin. The fact that we were able to pull off an event of a century, like, it's just insane. We had over 275,000 people that attended, and stadium overflow, Westgate, insane, you guys. And then you have, was it 100 million? You guys that heard the gospel and all about Charlie and all about everything that you guys do, and the hard work of Turning Point USA is insane. We had thousands that were registered to vote. I think we're at like over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me on that because I think it just keeps like bumping up like crazy. But I just wanted to say a huge, huge, huge thank you to the events team, the development team, the graphic design team, the production team. It's just phenomenal. Their incredible work of leading into the memorial. And honestly, a lot of the staff that worked on the memorial, they had 20-hour days for a week during the time of us grieving the loss of my husband. And honestly, I know several staff that didn't even sleep. Again, you guys are breathing angels, and I'm so grateful for all of you. And obviously a huge thank you to the Mosaic team. VI, you guys are 10 out of 10. Like, we have the most incredible team. We just do. And you guys know that, and you guys are all a part of that. And I am so, so thankful. And if you do have a moment and you run into any of those staff members that you know had a role in this, and you know that they put a lot of their time and effort into it, just say thank you. There's something really special to be seen in moments like this. And It's not easy. I'm speaking from experience. I'm right in the trenches with you guys. And so the fact that you just, a simple thank you. I don't care if any of you have beef with each other from the past or have any issues with someone said something about this or that. Like, if you guys have any of that, please put it to rest. My husband's dead. Like, I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead. And it puts life into perspective of how short life is and relationships, and God puts people in your life for a reason, and it teaches you a lesson, it teaches them a lesson. So if you are going through a time where, just lay it to rest, and we are moving forward, Turning Point USA 2.0 with Charlie in our hearts, and that's what he would want.
Okay, Erika. Let me come back on here. So a lot of people are saying that she does not sound like a grieving widow. I've always thought she was just weird from the way she's acted, even the way they did his so-called memorial service / funeral with the pyrotechnics, even the Turning Point USA event where she was looking like Tammy Faye Faker in that sequence outfit. There's just always been something about Erika that has rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. So I guess, Candace is just feeling the need to just continue to expose her. I'm assuming Candace got that audio from somebody on Erika's team. So it looks like there might be some internal stuff, because there'd be no other way for Candace to get that audio. They had to come from somebody who's very close to Erika. So it sounds like there might be some internal stuff going in at Turning Point USA. I've also heard that they're suing people. They're suing creators. People who are making videos questioning them. They're trying to hit them with lawsuits to force them to take down the videos. So I've been hearing that as well. So the whole thing with Charlie Kirk, like I said, none of it makes sense, especially now that more information has come out over the past few months. I don't necessarily believe Candace's conspiracies. I think she's kind of over the top with it. But something about Erika is just creepy to me. She seems like she's more relieved than anything. I don't know anybody, and especially being that he died in such a gruesome way publicly, who would be that just able to just snap right back into work. It's one thing if he died like in a car wreck or from cancer or something like that. The fact that he was just off like that, and then you still have 2 small children, I don't know. I just find it strange. But again, people will sit there and say, oh, people grieve in different types of ways. Yeah, I guess. Y'all can keep on using that excuse. I just find her weird. Yeah. She definitely sounds like she's over it. Just Nelly, I agree. Like, on to the next. So now, there's also a strange video that came out yesterday too with Glenn Beck, where he mistakenly says the 3-year anniversary since Charlie Kirk was killed. And so people thought that this was strange as well. Let me see if I can find that video real quick here. Let me see. Okay. All right, here's the video. We're going to watch this. It's just something about this death that's just extremely weird. Okay.
Year anniversary. Or sorry, the 3-month anniversaries. Feels like 3 years at times.
It feels like 3 years.
It's playing, but it's not playing any audio. Come on, Twitter.
Yesterday was the 3-year anniversary.
Yeah, for some reason it's not playing the audio. Let me see if I can pull it up on a different screen. Give me just a second.
Yesterday was...
Okay, it's playing it on this other screen. Okay, let me do this here. Let's see. Okay.
It was the 3-year anniversary. Or sorry, the 3-month anniversaries. Feels like 3 years at times.
It feels like 3 years.
Doesn't it? I mean, it's got to, even more for you. It just feels like it was forever ago. It's crazy. The Charlie's final book is out.
Okay. Has nobody sat Erika Kirk down and said, yeah, this isn't reading well. You know, you beaming all the time, you acting giddy every time somebody talks about your husband's death. It's very, very strange. And people don't like it. At least she semi-caught herself here when she felt her smile reach its maximum capacity. She was like, oh shit, maybe I should reel it in. You should reel it in, Erika. And I agree, it does feel like it's been 3 years since Charlie Kirk's been gone, because we have seen you every single day for 3 months. And that's more than we ever even saw Charlie Kirk. Okay, I said this before. It's like Charlie Kirk wasn't this famous. He's more famous after his death, of course, because of the way that it happened. But this woman is just everywhere all the time. And it's just too much, okay? I think that you should probably be home with your kids. For all the people that are criticizing anybody that finds this weird, I have a hard time believing that you have ever lost somebody close to you, especially in a tragic way. Because anybody that has gone through a real grieving process knows that this is very bizarre. And it does seem like this marriage wasn't real, or maybe it was on the rocks. Like, something was going on here. This woman is loving it. This woman also has like no charisma. She obviously comes off very, very inauthentic. So them trying to force this on us, it's like, listen, it's not going to work. If this was all to catapult Erika Kirk, I don't know that it was worth all this. Okay, because this woman she's just not it.
All right, she went in. Yeah, something with this situation is creepy and odd. The fact that she herself is laughing at Glenn Beck's mistake, because he caught himself. He meant to say 3 months. He said 3 years. But the fact that she's like, yeah, it does feel like 3 years. Really? It hasn't even been 6 months yet. What do you mean it feels like 3 years? And where are her children? I keep hearing that nobody has seen her kids. You don't see her with her kids at all. Not saying that she needs to parade her children out, but it's just like, it's weird that she has all of this extra time now that her husband is dead. You'd think she'd be even more busy with her children as opposed to trying to be the face of Turning Point USA. So something about this entire situation is just very, very odd. It really is. So that is the tea on Erika Kirk. That's the latest. I also wanted to hit on, Ilhan Omar. Let's talk about that. Some lunatic, this was yesterday during her town hall here in Minneapolis, some man ran up and basically threw some type of liquid on her. I don't know what the liquid was, but when I tell you, Ilhan was ready to scrap. Like, she straight up squared up. I was like, I know that's right. She's ready to fight. So we're going to watch this video really quick. This went viral all over social media.
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment. I don't know.
Oh my God, he sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing.
No. You need to go get checked. No,
we will continue. These fucking assholes are not going to get away with it.
You need to go get checked. You don't know what. That's whatever it is smells so bad. She needs to go get checked. I don't know what
they want.
It's not about him, Ilhan. It's not about him. It's about your safety. No, he sprayed something on you. You need to go get checked. Yeah, and it smells terrible.
And DHS.
So she went on with the rest of her speech. So respect to her for taking up for herself and still going on with her speech. What bothers me, though, with that situation is, how did this mofo get that close to her? Where is the security? Was nobody checked? Like, that's the part that's scary, because if he could get that close to dump something on her, what if that was bleach? What if that was acid? you know, but kudos to her for taking up for herself and, you know, continuing. And now people are trying to say that it was staged and it was made up. That wasn't staged or made up. That was a real situation that she went through. So I'm just glad she's okay. It was another, and they had like a few different angles of it. Let me see if I can find it. It was like another angle, and then there was like a little quick interview she did. Okay, I thought I had to say, but I don't see it. But there's a lot of different angles, but that was not staged. Everybody's trying to act like it was, but it wasn't. You know what I think?
You talk.
Okay, this is the interview that she did earlier today. Okay. I'm gonna play this. Let me just come in a little bit here. There we go. Okay.
You talk about being a scrapper.
Okay.
You would fight.
Yeah.
I'm talking about full fisticuffs.
Yeah.
What's your record? I'm talking knockouts, TKOs.
Undefeated, I would say.
Undefeated?
Yeah.
How many total fights have you been in?
I would say like dozens. I was a very like tiny kid.
Yes.
And people would try me.
Okay.
But I hated bullies. And so I was like quick to punch someone if, you know, I thought they were bullying me or bullying someone else. I'm definitely going to survive intimidation and whatever these people think they can throw at me because I'm built that way.
You talk about being a scrapper.
Okay.
So there, y'all heard her. She said she's built that way. So, you know, kudos to Ilhan for taking up for herself. But like I said, it is worrisome because it's like, okay, well, where the hell was security? Why was security not there? You know, but the fact that she's ready to be on go mode, I'm happy. But I mean, it's just, I don't know. It feels like it's just more to come. Right now, if you guys do not know, they are getting ready to do a whole boycott this Friday. It's supposed to be nationwide, but definitely starting in Minnesota. So it's going to be basically everything is supposed to be shut down. No work, no school. It's supposed to be nationwide, but it's definitely in Minnesota is what everybody's talking about. So let me go ahead and play y'all this clip real quick here. Because now, if you guys don't know, ICE is in Arizona. They said somebody got shot down in Arizona. I know there's a bunch of protests outside of the ICE detention center in Texas. They're also in Indiana really bad. People have been talking about things that are going on in Indiana. So it's a lot of states, a lot more states that are becoming even more affected as well. So this is the boycott.
There is a national shutdown. No work, no school, no shopping. In Minneapolis, ICE and federal immigration agents shot and killed Alex Preddy and Renee Gold. Ordinary residents caught up in a militarized enforcement operation that ignored their constitutional rights. Alex was an ICU nurse. Renee was a community member. They were killed in broad daylight. Officials have tried to downplay it.
Okay, I can't do the music, but basically this is what's going on. It's going to be shut down. Everybody's doing a supposed nationwide boycott. So I know there have been people passing out flyers in different cities, New York, Chicago, LA, things like that. So just be aware. But he had too much music going on in his clip. So now before I go, I also wanted to hit on this as well. Two things I wanted to hit on. Let's first hit on the Black Panther drama. So a lot of people have been asking me about the whole Black Panther situation with Commander Birdsong. I think that's his name. So as we all know, there's been all this stuff with the Black Panthers that have been coming up on everybody's timeline. Even when I was live last week, he had came up on my timeline, and they're basically the new Black Panther Party for self-defense. They're out there with guns. They're out there in Philly. They're doing food programs, helping people who are less fortunate, the homeless, things like that. They're basically patrolling and protecting their communities. So what ended up happening is that basically people found a bunch of old videos of Paul Birdsong. Like 5 years ago, he was in Langston, Michigan. I guess he was a Piru blood. He was out there banging, but then he was also supposedly protecting the community. So people were like, okay, which one is it? Are you a blood? Are you a Black Panther? People are basically calling him an agent and saying that it's not cool. He's trying to take over the Black Panther Party. He's not even Black. And then the niece of one of the Black Panthers came out. I forget her name. But she came out and said that she was going to sue him for using the Black Panther name. Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton's niece came out. And then people found out that she was a Trump supporter. So then a lot of people were like, okay, well, you're over here talking about him, but you're a whole Trump supporter. You're MAGA. You're walking around with with a MAGA hat on. Like, what the hell? You just can't make this shit up. It's just been like a lot of mess with this whole situation. So because of people basically going off on them, now the initial Black Panthers that he was cool with, they had allowed him to use the name. But because of all this backlash, they're not being allowed to use the Black Panther name anymore. So he posted this video yesterday on social media and it went viral. It's a bunch of mess, child. So this is what he has to say about the whole Black Panther drama. So let's go ahead and watch this video really quick. Okay. So this is his official statement.
Got a message from Aaron Dixon today saying that he no longer supports us. That after he gave me orders to make a video saying that him and other members were coming, that he withdrew his support. That he said that this situation is unimportant to him, even though my comrades have risked their lives and spent thousands of hours of their time and dollars in life standing behind a cause, He said he's going to make a statement saying no one has the right to call himself a Black Panther going forward. I told him to make sure that he put in that statement that he did, in fact, give us the right to call ourselves that, because I still have the messages where he did, just in case he doesn't. And I put in there also, make sure that you put in there that Emory Douglas did give us the right to wear that emblem, because I still have the messages where that happened too. But as it stands, because of that, because of me and my comrades risking our lives and all the heat that we went under, because of the counter-revolutionary practices, because we don't believe in Black nationalism, like Bobby Seale said in the video that I shared on my page earlier, that Black nationalism is acquiesce to racism, and that we don't stand like that we're internationalists and intercommunalists, just like Huey Newton said. We will no longer identify with this flag. We will no longer identify ourselves as the Black Panther Party for self-defense. We're going to take OG from the town's advice. We're going to take the name that he decided to put out there. We're going to call ourselves the Black Lion Party for International Solidarity. Reason for the international solidarity is because we will stand with the immigrants. We will stand with the people being terrorized for ICE. We will stand with any oppressed people across the world. We will keep feeding every single day, keep offering food every single day. We will keep patrolling the community with guns. We will keep stopping drug dealers, keep stopping sex traffickers. We will keep stopping police brutality. This little plaque that I got, it says Paul Birdsong, and as a Panther, it says since 2020. I don't regret the work that I've done because it's brought me to this point. But going forward, these Panther patches will no longer be on my uniform. I got a message from Aaron Dixon today saying that he knows.
Okay, So y'all just heard his message. And forgive me, I meant Huey P. Newton's niece. I think I said Fred Hampton. Sorry about that. But this is the article here. So her name is Maisha Newton, but that's her with her Trump 2024 hat on. She's a big Trump supporter. So she's been trying to come out and defend being a Trump supporter. Let me see something in the article. She says here, okay, Newton, a California resident, has been very public with her support for Trump. In a post from April 2025, she praised the Trump White House for its various policies. I love everything they're doing. I haven't found one discrepancy yet, she said, of the Trump administration. I think it's absolutely great. And to be honest with you, I don't think that I am the only person that thinks everything you're doing is great, she added. Keep up the good work. So that is very strange that, her being the niece of Huey, that she's also a big, Trump supporter. I don't know. I just find that weird. But I know a lot of people are saying, like, these new Black Panthers, they're getting picked on. It's not okay. They're trying to do things for the community. Why are people being so negative? And I do feel like some of the people who are complaining are more or less, armchair revolutionaries. They're not really on the block doing too much or giving out food or trying to help the community. They're on social media complaining, right? So I get where that's coming from. But I do feel like people do have to be vetted, because the Black Panthers, that was something very serious, especially to the Black American community that comes from their community. And so they have the right to gatekeep that. Because if you guys don't know, yes, the Black Panthers had other minorities next to them, right? So you had Mexican and Latino Panthers. You had Asian Panthers, right? But there was a very popular Asian Panther. His name, I believe, was Richard Palaioki. And so he stood on the steps with the Black Panthers. He was the gunman. So when Huey P. Newton and Fred Hampton, when they needed guns, they went to this Asian man to go get the guns. And so he ended up becoming a Black Panther. They really trusted him. His name was Richard Aoki. So they really trusted him. He stood alongside them. And for years, he preached. Let me show y'all just some of these pictures of him. For years, he preached at different colleges and things like that. He stood right alongside the Black Panthers. Let me share my screen here. Okay, so that's them here. You see Asians, yellow. Peril supports Black Panthers, free Huey. But this is him right here. That's him. Him. Japanese radical cat. Okay? So the problem is, though, in 2009, after speaking at different colleges and talking about how it was to be a Black Panther, he really was able to eat off of this, because he was one of the most famous, Black Panthers, especially of Asian descent. So he was able to make a whole legacy off of this. So what ended up happening is that when he died, somebody decided to do a Freedoms of Information Act on him. And come to find out, lo and behold, he was an informant. He was an FBI informant. So I think people have every right to be suspicious, because in 2009, this wasn't, 50 years ago. This was just, a few years ago, they found out that, Mr. Man was an FBI informant. So let's watch this clip here. They kind of break it down. Yeah, I was very shocked when I heard this. I was like, damn. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and listen to the story here. Because this young man breaks it down. All right. So, for y'all thinking people are just being mean, I get why people are feeling away because this has happened in the past. So let's listen.
Black Panthers did have non-black members that were in their ranks. Most notably was this man, Richard Aoki. He was Japanese, and he joined the Black Panthers very early, literally when they first started. He rose to the ranks of the Black Panthers relatively quick. He became a field marshal, and he was the only Asian American to have a formal leadership position in the Black Panthers. He ended up becoming an educator in California and also a school counselor. If you thought this was going to be a feel-good story, it's not. When he died in 2009, someone did a Freedom of Information Act request to see what the FBI had on him when he was a Black Panther. Come to find out, he was working for the FBI for 15 years. He was a confidential informant. He had been telling the FBI everything that he learned about the Black Panthers. It even says, informant is a stable young man showing traits of maturity and poise. He handles himself as an intelligent, trustworthy individual. In 1977, according to this document, he reached out to the FBI and said that he didn't want to seek any more information for them. This is about 5 years before the Black Panthers ceased operation, so they're already going downhill at this point. The Black Panthers did have non-black members that were...
Okay, so y'all just saw that. So I can't be mad if people feel like, you know what? Who are these new Black Panther guys? And what are their intentions? Now again, I've seen people in Philly comment and say that they really do be out there. They are really helping the community. So kudos to them for that. But I don't think they need to necessarily use the name Black Panther just to help the community. It's saying that my stream is really poor. I don't know if y'all can see or hear me, but I'm getting all these error messages all of a sudden. It's saying YouTube is not receiving enough data to maintain a smooth stream. Here we go. Can y'all see and hear me? Because it's saying that my stream is really poor. Somebody says it reminds them of sinners. Yeah, it does. But yeah, so I wanted y'all to know that, like I said, I think the fact that they're doing stuff for the community is a good thing, and I would never knock anybody for that, But I also feel like they use the name Black Panther because of its recognition, because people recognize the Black Panthers, the symbolism and stuff like that. So they're kind of using that name for clout as well. I think if they're really serious about moving forward, helping the community, helping out those who are disenfranchised, be the Black Lions. Start your own organizations, your own grassroots without riding off of the backs of the Black Panthers, okay? Now, if those original members gave them permission to use that name, then shame on those original members for giving them permission and then walking it back once the heat got hot. I don't respect that either. If you gave them that permission, then so be it. But don't walk it back now that people are questioning things, because you should have questioned it from jump. So again, I don't want to question their intentions or what they're trying to do for the community, but they also need to understand that there has been people who have infiltrated the Black Panther movement, and the whole time they were working with the police. And that's what people are scared of. So I just wanted to bring that aspect up for you guys who did not know that Asian guy that you see next to the Black Panthers back in the 60s was an informant. And people did not know that until 2009 when they ran a Freedoms of Information Act on him. And he had been an informant literally from day one. After he got them the guns that they used on City Hall, after that, because the police realized that's where they got the guns from, was from his shop or his connections. And shortly after that, he became an FBI informant. So the whole time he was in the Black Panther Party, he was also talking to the police. But what I find very interesting, I had to make this point. In what year was that? Let me see here. Okay, if y'all remember, back in 2021, who remembers this movie? Let me share my screen. Hold on. Y'all remember this movie? Judas and the Black Messiah. Okay. And this was a really good movie. It pissed me off, I'm not gonna lie. But what I find interesting is that they came up with this movie in 2021 to show how black men basically infiltrated the movement and set, the Black Panthers up to be destroyed from the inside out. So my question is this. Now that we know that there was an Asian man who did the same thing, and his information, all this came out in 2009, when is Hollywood going to come up with the Judas, the Asian Messiah? Or am I wrong or am I reaching? Because, see, it's always cool to show how black folks are crabs in a barrel and how we undermine each other. But when is Hollywood going to make Judas and the Asian Messiah? So, just a question. Just wondering. They're probably not going to make one, but I think they should. That would be very interesting. I would love to see it. I would pay to see it. I paid to see this one. So, we'll see. We'll see if that ever comes to fruition. So now, let me see what else. I want to make sure I hit on everything. Oh, yeah. TikTok. So there's even more tea coming out that TikTok is not allowing people. Everybody should have deleted their TikTok by now. I showed you guys yesterday because we were having issues. I didn't want to just delete the app. I wanted my profile and everything deleted off of TikTok. So like I showed y'all in Discord, you have to go into airplane mode because do not click agree. If you click agree, that's just what it is. You can go into airplane mode, click on your profile, click on your home Wi-Fi, and then delete your account. That's what I had to do. But don't click agree just to delete your account. So people were realizing that TikTok is not even allowing you to write certain words in the DMs. You can't write Epstein. You can't write some other stuff. And then nobody's getting paid. Somebody showed one of their checks from TikTok, and they have like 500,000 followers, and they got a $14.95 check. So it's gotten bad. So many people are deleting their TikToks. Let me show you this video here. Hold on. I don't know if this is showing the right thing. Hold on. Okay. Trying to make sure y'all can see the bottom of this because it's going to show y'all what happens when they try to DM people. Okay, there we go. Hold on. Sorry, there we go. Let me do it again. Hold on. It's 20 seconds. So he's going to show you, like, when they type in Epstein and stuff, how it gets blocked. So you see hello went through. But when I type Epstein, this message may be in violation of our community guidelines and has not been sent to protect our community. So they're censoring words like that. They're also censoring words like Zionism and stuff like that as well. And then this video also popped up. So we're going to watch this.
We made a change to designate the use of the term Zionist as a proxy for a protected attribute as hate speech. So if somebody were to use Zionist, of course you can use it in the sense of you're a proud Zionist, but if you're using it in the context of degrading somebody, calling somebody a Zionist as a dirty name, then that gets designated as hate speech to be moderated against. Over the course of 2024, we tripled the amount of accounts that we were banning for hateful activity. We also have, I think, over 24 Jewish organizations that are constantly feeding us intelligence and information when they spot violative trends. There is no finish line. There's no finish line to moderating hate speech, identifying hateful trends, trying to keep the platform safe. There's no such thing as an end game.
Okay. Now, what's very disturbing about that is that's one thing if somebody's on the platform saying it. This is in the DMs. They weren't on the platform. They weren't in the comment section. So it just shows you how much TikTok has changed. So as of yesterday, they have lost over 150, like what they say, like over 150,000. I don't think it's 150,000 people, but like subscriptions. People have just deleted their TikTok profile. So they're bleeding followers. So now they're trying to come out and run game and say that it's just a rumor. They're not censoring. And they're even talking about launching an investigation. I think Gavin Newsom, he's trying to launch an investigation because now TikTok is denying censorship is taking place. Let me see, I have two videos here.
I'm really at the point.
Hold on.
Well, the new
I have so many clips, y'all. Give me just a second. I want to make sure I have them all up. What's this one? Okay. So, like I said, a lot of people have deleted their TikTok. They're going on to other apps. Some people are going back to RedNote. There's another one called Upscroll. So let's watch these news articles here on the censorship because now TikTok is trying to walk it back and act like everybody else is tripping. Okay. Let's play this real quick here.
I'm really at the point of deleting this app.
TikTok is censoring us. Let me show you the censorship. Let me just show you.
Tonight, some TikTokers threatening to stop the scroll.
We are posting factual, political information, and they are censoring our content.
Alleging the app is suppressing videos about the fatal shootings in Minneapolis.
TikTok USA is broken.
Aaron Parnas, a political content creator, showing one video he posted that appeared to receive more than 200 comments, but listed 0 views.
couldn't post, couldn't see it.
Democratic Senator Chris Murphy also among those calling out the app. Singer Billie Eilish, too.
I find it very interesting that this is the video that is going to get blocked.
But the issues appeared to extend beyond videos about ICE. People flooding social media complaining about everything from problems with the main For You page and commenting to complications editing and posting. The company blaming disruptions on a power outage, writing, "We're working with our data center partner to stabilize our service." NBC News reached out to TikTok about specific allegations of censorship, and the company said all issues stemmed from the outage.
It looks like we have to rebuild our FYPs.
But it all comes just days after the U.S. and China reached a deal passing control of TikTok's U.S. operations to a group of investors backed by President Trump.
It's a lot of things happening all at once. We don't have any insight into how they're changing or moving or adjusting. Could be bad timing, could be by design. We really don't know.
But many users remain skeptical.
I am deleting all of my videos from TikTok.
A rocky start as TikTok enters a new U.S. chapter with millions watching. Savannah Sellers, NBC News.
So as you see, people are over it. People are ready to get rid of TikTok. Like I said, I deleted mine. I'm done. I don't get paid from TikTok, so I could care less. It's one of those throwaway apps. Let me see. I think he's saying it's a lot of people that are saying that they're moving to other sites. Plus, they're not paying creators. This is the video. One of the people that I follow. He got paid $14.90. TikTok has sent you $14.90 USD. Note from TikTok, been successfully delivered, enjoyed. And this person has 550,000 followers. And that's what they earned in December. And I can bet you around that same time last year, they were probably getting easily $5,000 to $6,000. Enough to live on. So TikTok is full of crap. They're gaslighting. I'm trying to find the article. It said like over 150. Okay, so they're saying here that over 150% of uninstalls are up. Creators leaving TikTok.
Everyone's been freaking out over TikTok this week.
I don't need to play her video. Seems like it's going to be too long. So basically, let me see. Put a teacup in the chat if you've deleted your TikTok. Only if you've deleted your TikTok. Put a teacup in the chat. When I used to go on there, it was mainly to like, you know, get trending topics, video ideas, things like that. And there are certain TikTokers that I follow and I enjoy their stuff as well. But just the scrolling on there just looks like a ghetto ass like home shopping network. In between the content that you're trying to find, it's always somebody hawking some shit at you. Either some leggings that have a line going up your butt, so that way it's not two lines around your butt cheeks, you know, lip gloss, stupid ass courses. It's not the TikTok that it was years ago. It's just turned into people constantly hawking stuff, and in between that, trying to find people who are talking about real stuff. But I think what these apps need to learn, okay, so we have a lot of people who uninstalled. Wow. A lot of teacups. Yeah, I went ahead and I deleted mine and I uninstalled. I'm good. I think what these apps need to understand is that the power is in the people. And if you don't have people using your apps, you have nobody to sell advertising to. You have no eyeballs to put ads in front of. And I think people need to start realizing that, you know, these apps would be nothing without the people, period. And I think like, it, you know, the fact that TikTok had one of the best algorithms, you literally could roll out of bed and you would end up on somebody's For You page. You didn't have to be drop dead gorgeous. You didn't have to have on a filter. You didn't have to be Instagram perfect. You could get up there and state your opinion. And that's one thing I liked about TikTok. Because it gave regular people a chance to voice their opinions. So it's like the fact that they feel like they can censor people and censor words and protect certain communities. People are like, no, we're good. So people are now, you know, some people are going to Instagram. People feel like Instagram, Facebook, it's all the same thing. But like I said, there's a new app called Upscroll. There's a few new apps that people are using. I know a lot of people went back to Red Notes. But people are not going to be using TikTok like that. So they're not going to make their money back on this sale that they thought they were going to make. Because a lot of people are done. One, you're not paying. Then you have all these weird ass terms and services that you're geo-following people, that you can use their videos and their pictures in your own advertisements and you don't have to pay them. So the terms and services were just by itself crazy. And you had to agree to it. There was no opting out. So I'm glad a lot of people woke up and said, you know what? I don't need it that bad. So, yeah, a lot of folks are finding other alternatives. But I think a lot of these apps, they're going to have to really start paying. I am on Upscroll. I created my account today. I haven't posted anything. Upscroll is Palestinian based, I believe. There's a man who's talking. Let's watch his video. He's talking about it. Because I ran across a few videos talking about joining Upscroll. Let me see here. I think this was one of the videos. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people are going to Upscroll. Let me show y'all this video here. I've been seeing that up on Instagram a lot where people are talking about Upscroll. So I did create an Upscroll account, but like I said, I haven't posted anything on there at all. Okay.
Abandoning TikTok and going to Upscroll, which is the #2 most downloaded social media app on Apple's App Store, because the new TikTok ownership is hyper censorship.
Over the course of 2024, we tripled the amount of accounts that we were banning for hateful activity. We also have, I think, over 24 Jewish organizations that are constantly feeding us intelligence and information when they spot violative trends. There is no finish line. There's no finish line to moderating hate speech. There's no such thing as an end game.
And major social media stars are already on Upscroll, including Guy Christensen, Mo, and me too. Upscroll is actually a Palestinian-owned app. It's just like TikTok, but with free speech. Download it too. And don't let Zios control everything. Everyone is abandoning TikTok and...
So, I don't know. Let me see. There's another video too. Somebody else was breaking down about it. Let me see.
Who's ready to watch a
So there's a lot of people all over social media talking about boycotting TikTok and going to other spots.
$14 billion Israeli investment go to zero. Check this out. The one thing our government hates more than anything, or the powers that be hate more than anything, is a moral victory. So what is a moral victory? A moral victory is like what happened to Bud Light. When finally they push us to a point where we finally snap and we all unite together and we come together and they go, holy shit. Similar to what happened with the convoy, the truckers protest over in Canada. They tried everything in their power to make that violent, to make those protesters evil, to make them out to be the bad guy, and it blew up in their face and failed miserably. What's happening right now with TikTok? There's a new app called Upscrolled. In the last 7 days, I believe 10 million American citizens have deleted the TikTok app and switched over to Upscrolled. Israel Exposed gained 13,000 followers in the last 24 hours. Gen X Girl gained over 5,000 in the last 24 hours. In the first 10 minutes of downloading the app and making one post over on X, I'm probably up to 200 or 300 by now. It's insane how many Americans are sick and tired of this censorship industrial complex and these, God's chosen people buying up all these social media platforms, buying up all the media outlets, buying up all the radio stations, and then constantly forcing this barrage of Israeli propaganda down our throat, meanwhile censoring and silencing American citizens who are speaking out against them. So if you'd like to join in and participate in the biggest boycott in the history of America, do me a favor, delete TikTok, delete your child's TikTok, download the Upscrolled app, give them a new app, tell them, listen, hey, this one's off limits for now until further notice. This is the app that you have to use. Everybody in America is switching over to it because the bad guys own this app and we don't want to give them our funding. We don't want to give them our dollars. We don't want to.
All right, y'all get the point. So that's where they're all going to Upscroll. I did reactivate my Red Note account, so I am back on Red Note. I tried to learn Mandarin for 2 weeks and then fell off. So maybe I had to go back and try and learn some more. But yeah, so I'm not on TikTok anymore. I've left. I don't plan on going back. I just don't like that. I don't like the fact that, they're playing with creators, livelihoods, as far as their money and stuff like that. And then the fact that the censorship. And there's censorship happening all over social media. Let's keep it real. It's not just on TikTok, but with TikTok, it's blatant. When you can't even DM somebody your thoughts, that's insane. So people are tired of it. And I think a lot of these social media platforms, they're going to have to learn how to, split that revenue with folks. People are not going to be making content and then not receiving any type of payment. That's insane. So they're going to have to figure out a model. I know a lot of the TikTokers have tried to come over to YouTube, but the difference is with YouTube, if you're not used to creating long form content, that can be hard for people who are used to just creating, 1 to 2 minute content, because YouTube is mainly for long form. But I have seen a few of the TikTokers that I follow, they're also on YouTube as well. So hopefully they'll be able to generate some type of income, with their following and using YouTube. But in this day and age, you have to take your energy, your support where it's valued. And a lot of these social media apps, they're going to see people start turning on them because they're not valuing people. They're not valuing, communication. Now, I'm not saying that people should just be free to be disrespectful and just say whatever they want to say that's racist or, xenophobic or anti-Semitism. I don't believe in that. But I think when people are just speaking about certain topics, and they're speaking in a respectful manner and trying to get their point across, and they're coming with real facts and real receipts, they shouldn't be censored. They were literally blocking anybody that was uploading anything that was going on in Minneapolis on TikTok this weekend. So any of the protests, the shooting, people speaking on Minneapolis, they were getting 0 views. So that's straight flat out censorship. And we live in a day and age where we need to know what's going on. I just found out today there's a lot of stuff going on. Oh, y'all started following me? Oh, my gosh. I just got an alert. Champion. Hold on. Who is this? Champ the Big Ace started following you. Okay, Champ the Big Ace. Thank you for the follow on Upscroll. Y'all don't be wasting no time. I appreciate you. But, I just found out there's a bunch of stuff going on in Arizona. I wouldn't know what was going on in Arizona. I don't live there. But I found out because of Instagram, my feed and stuff like that. Just like y'all would not have any idea what was going on in Minnesota if it wasn't for me and other people in Minnesota telling y'all. So, we do need social media. We do need to have a way to be able to communicate outside of telephones and stuff like that. Social media is the easiest and the quickest way to communicate. So, It's just sad. It's sad what it's turning into, but it's been going on for a while. But yeah, I'm gonna try and go on those sites and check them out. So I'm gonna read these last few super chats here. I think I've been on here for 2 hours and 25 minutes. Just want to make sure I got everything. Okay. Yep, I hit on everything. Okay, cool. Let me read these last few super chats here. Miss JKR984 sent $5. Says, hey T, quiet tea sipper here. What do you think about the America's Next Top Model trailer? Do you plan on watching? Yes, we posted it yesterday on my Instagram page. When I tell y'all, know I was a huge fan of America's Next Top Model. I was one of the girls. I wanted to be on the show really bad. I couldn't wait till they came to my city. You know, that was goals for me. If you were a young person growing up in the early 2000s, late 2000s, that was like everybody's goal. Everybody wanted to be on America's Next Top Model. I love this show. You know, the trailer was very interesting. Part of me feels like this, though. And I might be wrong for saying this. I don't like the way Tyra is constantly being demonized through the eyes of 2022, 23, 24, 25, 26 on shit that was aired freely in the to the mid to late 2000s. Those were a different time. And I feel like it's very easy to just demonize a black woman who had a very successful show. It's like they're trying hard to like destroy her legacy. And I don't know what this Netflix is going to be about because it looks like she's talking about it. But everybody keeps saying that Tyra needs to take accountability. You know how many jacked up reality TV shows were on back in the day? Have y'all asked Diddy to take accountability for him making the band walk to go get a cheesecake in Brooklyn? Or how he treated Danity Kane? Why is it only this black woman who's just getting drugged for the filth for the past 5-6 years? Lou Pearlman was an asshole to them boys. I forgot the band. It escapes me. He was the manager for Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. But before Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, remember, he's the one who started the band before Diddy and MTV took it over. I don't know. It's always kind of bothered me. The modeling industry is not a fun place. It's very rough. Are y'all gonna also make those modeling agencies apologize for how they talked to the girls? How they told them they were fat when they went on their go-sees? Is anybody else telling Janice Dickinson that she needs to bow down and apologize for how she spoke to the girls? No. Everything is on Tyra. I don't like it. I'm very excited to watch it because I was a huge fan of the show. Okay, fine. The blackface thing, looking at it in 2025, 2026, yes, it's cringy. But back then we were watching as kids, we thought it was kind of cool. Like, damn, this is kind of interesting. We didn't even understand that it was blackface because it wasn't even presented to us as blackface. It just looked like a cool challenge. It was cool to see, what was her name? She was a Puerto Rican girl. She kind of had an attitude because they made her darker to look like Grace Jones. But then when it came out, she looked gorgeous. They made the one mixed girl, they made her white. You know, they switched the races. They made one of them an Eskimo. It was all a challenge. So nobody was even looking at it like, oh, this is blackface. Like, you know, O-Town, that was the group. Thank you, O-Town. Nobody was looking at it like that. They were literally looking at it as a challenge back then. But yes, now that we're more woke, we can be like, oh, nah, that was wrong. You know, that was a bit too much. They shouldn't have did that. I will say I didn't like the way that Tyra kind of went off on the black girls a bit more. She was a bit more strict on them and kind of held them to a different standard than she did the white girls. I will say that. Like when she went off on Tiffany and all that stuff, looking back on it, that wasn't needed. She didn't have to pop off on her like that because there were also other problematic white girls, and Tyra didn't pop off on them the way she did Tiffany. So I can say there were little certain things, or like how she treated Yaya, you know, because everybody knew that she was going to pick the Afrocentric hat. And she said, well, I didn't pick that because y'all were thinking that. So I picked the cowboy hat, and then they still gave her shit for it. So there were little, you know, there were little things that Tyra did. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that she's innocent, right? There was some shade that she would throw at some of the black girls. I hated the fact that she made Danielle close her gap because y'all know in my culture, gaps are a big deal. It's a good thing to have a gap. Y'all praise me for having straight teeth. They praise my sister for having a gap. You know? So when Danielle closed her gap, to me, that was like, what the hell? But when they fixed Jamie's elephant tooth that was sticking out the side of her mouth, yeah, everybody said she looked a lot better. But now everybody's like, oh, that was a dramatic medical procedure. No, nobody was thinking that back then. Everybody was like, thank goodness the extra tooth is gone. Am I lying? Was that her name, Jamie? I don't even know if that was her name. I done just gave her a name. The white girl with the extra tooth that was hanging out, Danielle's friend. Nobody looked at it like a medical procedure. They looked at it like it was fixing that girl's tooth. It's called snaggletooth. That's what we called it back in the day. They fixed her snaggletooth. Maybe, I don't know if that's not politically correct, but that's what they called it, a snaggletooth. They got rid of it, and she looked better. I'm going to be the one to say it. Joni, that was her name. Thank you. I called her Jamie. Joni. Beautiful girl, but thank you. Nobody looked at that snaggletooth and said, oh, yeah, you're the one. But when they fixed it, everybody was praising it online. Like, I'm glad they got rid of that snaggletooth. That's what we called it back then. I don't know what y'all call it. That's what we called it. We called it snaggletooth. But now they're acting like, Tyra had them going under, getting breast implants or something. Like, what are y'all talking about? She didn't have these girls changing their breasts and getting BBLs. She fixed her snaggletooth. And Joni went even further. Because like they said, like, she's tall, she has a nice body, but every time she smiled, they would play that elephant noise. Y'all remember they played that elephant noise every time she talked? So again, oh, y'all call it side tooth? Oh, y'all are too politically correct for me. We called it snaggletooth. That's what we called it back in my day. I guess y'all call it a side tooth. I don't know. But I'm going to call it, we called it back in the day. Okay, nobody looked at Joni and was like, oh, this is horrible that they did that. No, she looked good after they took that extra tooth out. And dental work ain't cheap. That's why the tooth was snaggled for so long. She couldn't afford no dental work. You better get this free damn dental work. Shit. And they paying for it too? If I had a snaggle tooth, hell yeah, let's get rid of this snaggle tooth. For free? You know how much dental work is? Shit, they did Joni one solid. Y'all not gonna do Tyra like that. She hooked Joni up. But yeah, I can't wait to watch it. When I tell you, I've watched America's Next Top Model from season 1. I stopped watching it when it got to be too much. When they started bringing men on, then they had a season of girls under 5'5". I'm not watching this. We're here for the girls who are 5'9" and above. We don't need the remix. Then they had people on there with all types of other issues. It just became too much. It was like, we're all the girls who are 5'9" and above, the tall girls, size 0 to 2. We were here for it. That's how the fashion industry was. But I love when they added Takara because she was like the plus size, but she wasn't even plus size like that. But, for modeling, but Takara's cool. I've met her in real life. Sweet, super sweet. Beautiful. I love that season because that season had Takara, Eva the Diva. Yeah, nah, I've hung out with Eva. Yaya. It was a lot of them that season. Yeah, it just became too much. They had people on there who were blind, couldn't see. Like, come on. Like, they just started just adding anybody to the mix. Like, oh, yeah, you too can be a model. You too can. Then after that, I just checked out. When they had men on there, they had little people one time. Not little people, but, shorter people. It was just too much. They started doing too much. I like the original premise because this is one of them things. It's okay. Everybody can't be a model. That's why we all watched it. Everybody is not going to be 5'11" a size 2, and that's okay. Y'all not going to change the NBA. But now all of a sudden, Tyra got to change the premise of her show because people are sensitive. It's not fair that I'm not 5'1", I can't rock down the runway. Ma'am, you can go do print work. It's called print work. Go do magazine and catalog stuff. When we think about runway, we think about girls who are about 5'10" to 6 foot strutting they shit. I don't want to see people on the runway who are 5'2". I don't. I'll look at you in a catalog. I don't want to see that on a runway when we're talking about high fashion. This is how we were raised in the 90s. Come on, y'all. We came from the 90s era, the supermodel era. Naomi Campbell, Tyra Banks, Miss Evangelista, Christy Brinkley, the pretty redhead with the dot, Cindy Crawford, Iman. Wasn't none of them girls 5'2"? So we come from that era. So when they started trying to make stuff inclusive, I was out. Because y'all not going to make the NBA inclusive. There's a bunch of short dudes who can ball, but guess what? They're not in the NBA. But they always do that to women. I didn't like that. Keep the original premise. A top model is somebody who is tall and thin. If y'all not going to change what it is to be an NBA player, don't mess with with top model. That's just what it was. So when they started trying to make it inclusive and, have men on there and all types of other stuff, I wasn't here for it. I ain't like it. I mean, y'all are saying Chrissy Teigen and Kate Moss. Yeah, they were there too, but nobody really looked at them. Kate Moss was big. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I did not understand the Kate Moss hype. She was short, very basic looking. I didn't understand it. Maybe because she was really skinny and she bought in that cocaine chic. Remember that whole, when everybody's wearing them jeans, you had to be really, really skinny. She had that cocaine chic look in like the late 90s. So maybe that's why I don't understand the hype. I never understood the Kate Moss hype. Sorry, I just never understood it. Chrissy Teigen's another one. I never understood the Chrissy Teigen hype either. So I liked it, the originals. Yasmin was gorgeous and had a mean walk. Yes. So I don't, like I said, I don't know. I'm excited to watch it. I just don't like the fact that, I just feel like they just keep poking at her and just making it seem like she's just this horrible person when a lot of people got opportunities because of Tyra. A lot of people did. A lot of people became household names from that show. I think what's happened now, and let's keep it a buck, there's nothing worse than having fame with no money to back it up. But y'all not ready for that conversation. And I think this is really what a lot of this boils down to. You have a lot of people recognize them. Because I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to put the person's name out there. When I first moved to LA, and you would go on these little roommate things, try and find a roommate, there were several top models from America's Next Top Model on them roommate sites looking for roommates. I'm not going to name who they were. Not doing good at all financially. And I think some of them blame Tyra for that. Because like I said, there's nothing worse than people seeing you out and about and they assume because you're on TV or because you're a runner-up that you have to be rich. And that was not the case for many of them. Eva was probably one of the most successful one, even though she was shorter. She did get some modeling gigs, but Eva didn't play that. She went and took acting classes, started going on acting auditions. She knew the modeling thing wasn't going to be forever. And Eva's doing good. I think a lot of them thought because they were on the show, opportunities were just supposed to fall on their lap. And that's just not how it works. They felt like Tyra was supposed to do more for them once they got off of the show. And Tyra was like, the show was your platform, but now you need to go out there. But then a lot of them said that because they were on the show, it also kind of messed them up in the modeling industry too, where they really couldn't book work. So, unfortunately, it's a double-edged sword. But a lot of people who were on reality TV show in the early days of reality television, they really didn't make no money off of it. Why is nobody, mad at Flavor Flav? I don't see nobody boycotting Flavor Flav and telling him he needs to apologize for Flavor of Love. How about all them women that he exploited? Outside of Tiffany, most of them have nothing, and Delicious. Where's Buck Wild? Where's Pumpkin? Where's Hottie? Where's Sweetie? You don't see none of them other women like that. So a lot of these reality TV shows exploited people, used them up and spit them out. But only Tyra Banks gets all this backlash for it. It's very strange. Like I said, she wasn't perfect. But it's very interesting that she's the only one who gets as much backlash as she gets. When this was a show that everyone enjoyed. Even guys. I know a lot of men who watched it, it was their guilty pleasure. Oh, yeah, and Shay Johnson. Yeah, Shay Johnson. She's doing her thing. Hoops. Yeah, I still be seeing Hoops. I haven't seen her in a while, but yeah, Hoops did some stuff. Oh, yeah, Bret Michaels. Ooh, who brought up Bret Michaels? That's a good one. Who brought that up? Haas 23. Bret Michaels, he had a show too, remember? He was out there, he was doing it was a white version of Flavor of Love. It was called Rock of Love. Where them Rock of Love girls? So, again, this was the early, mid to late, 2000s. That's just what it was. Are y'all gonna get on? Remember Harvey, that weight loss coach? Remember that show, like Celebrity Fit Club? Harvey used to be cussing folks out, calling them fat and some more shit. Y'all gonna cancel Harvey for everything that he did in the late 2000s? No. Remember him and Screech got into it? Screech tried to cuss him out and Harvey got up in his face? So all I'm saying is that times were different. Yeah, Tila Tequila, I remember that. She's crazy now, though. But yeah, times are different. Somebody said Boots and Shay are fighting on Love and Hip Hop. I didn't know Boots was on Love and Hip Hop. I have not watched Love and Hip Hop in so long, child. So what, she just came on there to fight her? I'm going to have to go watch it. Now I'm interested. Oh yeah, Charm School. I remember that with Monique. Jillian Michaels. She used to talk to people crazy too. Remember The Surreal Life? I love The Surreal Life. That was my show. So, I'm excited to watch it. I can't wait to watch it. If Tyra wants to take accountability for some stuff, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with taking accountability. There's nothing wrong with apologizing, but not too much on Tyra. Like, I just feel like people getting mad about shit that happened damn near 15, 20 years ago. Like, y'all are digging up old clips. You got young kids, Gen Alpha, taking shit out of context, not even watching the whole show, just finding little clips to be mad at. Like, sit down and let us people who were there, us millennials and late Gen Zers, let us and Gen X, let us enjoy the show for what it was. Susie Q sent $10. Thank you so much, Susie. I appreciate you. 12153 Sam 5 says, hey T, just joined the live. Much love from the fam. It's my brother's and my birthday this past weekend. Big Aquarius energy. LOL, much love and blessings. Happy birthday. Happy belated birthday to you and your brother. Thank you so much for tapping in. Appreciate you. Let's see here. J. Major says, I hope they continue to rise in his career and maintain a positive image. Amen. And thank you, J. May, for the $9.99 super chat. And thank you for being a member for over 4 years. I see you have a rainbow cup. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Keenan Gibbons, 5715, send $4.99, says, your fit is fire tea. Longtime tea sipper from Detroit. I'm a Detroit firefighter. Please pray for the state of Michigan. Hearing ICE is here. Wow. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad you love my flit. I appreciate that. And thank you for your service as a firefighter as well. I love Detroit. I can't wait to come back. Y'all got some fire food. Detroit don't owe me no money. They don't owe me nothing. I had such a good time in Detroit back in October, so I can't wait to come back again. So we'll definitely be keeping Michigan in prayer. You know, it's so much going on out here in all these states, especially with ICE. So just stay safe and, you know, make sure you have your papers on you. Like damn Nazi Germany. It's crazy. Let's see here. A real life clip sent $9.99 says, hey T, I lost my husband a little over 3 years ago and it still feels like yesterday. Erika Kirk is not a grieving widow. I know we all grieve differently. I clocked her mannerisms early on. Wow. I'm sorry for your loss of your husband, but I agree with you 100%. I don't get grieving widow vibes from Erika Kirk. She just gives me like she's relieved and that she's taken over the empire that Charlie built. So it's sad because sometimes you could be sleeping with your own enemy. And that's the vibe that Erika Kirk gives me. She doesn't give me grieving anything. She gives me energy vampire vibes. Her eyes are creepy. Her disposition is creepy. So I'm not surprised at all by that phone call that Candance released. So thank you for the super chat, sis. Let's see here. My page refreshed. Okay, Miss Bonsen10 says, the year is 1984 in Oceania. I know a lot of people have been bringing up George Orwell's 1984 book. It's like everything that he said in that book is starting to come to pass. Well, it's been coming to pass over the past few years, but now we're really seeing it. So thank you for the super chat. Taurus Loves Luxury, send $4.99, says, I keep getting PragerU's whole videos in between lives and everything. They're liars about black people and history in general. Founder is connected to Israel. That's where they're giving you PragerU videos while I'm live. Is it as an ad or something? That's really weird. Thank you for letting me know that. Let's see here. V Green says TikTok hasn't been the same since last January 2025. I've heard creators say that last year the pay went way down. Yeah, I've been hearing people complaining about the pay, but now they're making literally $14. That is insane. The 28 who sent $9.99. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Anime Divbez. Sorry if I mispronounced that. They sent $49.99. They says, love the work you do, keeping the people informed. Much love from Ohio. Well, Ohio. I know I'm pronouncing it. I know somewhere in Hawaii. Ohio. It's not Ohio. It's like Ohanu maybe. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm so sorry. But thank you for the super chat. I know it's not Honolulu. I don't know how to pronounce it. Y'all gotta like spell it out for me. I don't mean to butcher it. I can't wait to come to Hawaii though. I really want to visit. That's like my goal. Hopefully I'll be able to come visit sometime this year. Because I know it's just so beautiful out there. Shout out to all my Hawaiians out there. I love that deep dive. I did a deep dive when the Hawaii fires happened. And I learned so much doing that deep dive of like just like the colonization. Oh, Wahoo. Wahoo. Okay, thank you. Because I'm like, I know it's Hawaiian. Oh, Wahoo. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, that deep dive, I learned a lot researching Hawaii and the colonization and how they took the queen and everything. So, and even now, all the stuff that people are going through in Hawaii and how the native Hawaiians are being priced out and having to move to the mainland. And all these millionaires are moving to Hawaii, buying up the property. So you guys have such an amazing history. I would love to come and visit sometime. So thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank y'all for helping me chat. Yeah, I heard it's expensive. I did hear that. I heard it's expensive, but I heard everybody I know who's ever gone to Hawaii, they've loved it. They're like, it's so beautiful. It's such like a magical place. So I would love to eventually visit one day. Let's see here. Shy B sent $20, says, this is a similar thought I had about Tyra. Nobody drags Maury or Jerry Springer in the same way they keep getting at Tyra. Exactly. That's why I'm excited to watch it and see, you know, and I'm going to do a review. I'll definitely do a review on the documentary. I can't wait to watch it. But yeah, I hate it. I hate how they're just like going in on her content. I mean, for years. Like, okay, fine, we get it. You know, the blackface thing, looking at it from 2024 eyes, that's when it first kind of was going viral and people were mad about it. I get the shock, but I'm telling you, back then when it happened, no one looked at it like that. If you really watched the entire episode, it was very interesting, you know, and I think the main person who got backlash was Xiomara. I think that was her name, Xiomara, because she was mad that they made her darker. And then her picture ended up coming out fierce, you know. But yeah. Somebody said, or Gordon Ramsay. Or Gordon Ramsay used to talk to people real crazy. And he got all types of restaurants. And y'all don't want to buy Tyra Banks' ice cream. But y'all are eating at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. And he used to cuss at folks. So. Let's see here. Miss Bond says RuPaul was a supermodel of the world. You better work, supermodel, work. I used to love that song. RuPaul had that back in like elementary school. Do your thing on the runway. You just brought it back. Remember that song? Oh my gosh. Let's see here. Knowledge Drop 1503 sent 499 says, T, I love you. You said you wasn't here for it. And you hella right, LOL. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Annie Z sent 199 says, hey, T, I turned my boyfriend into a tea sipper. I know that's right. I love when the couples watch me and I give y'all stuff to talk about and discuss. So shout out to your boyfriend for, you know, joining the tea sipper family. So thank you so much, sis. So all right, y'all. I think I read all of the super chats. I've been on here for almost 3 hours. I wasn't even supposed to be on here that long. Y'all made me feel better because when I got on here, I was like, oh my gosh. I was feeling like very drowsy and tired, but y'all be giving me energy. This was a really good stream, good conversations, good dialogue. So thank you guys for just coming through and supporting. I really enjoyed this. So I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, everybody. Once again, stay safe. The boycott is Friday, so that doesn't mean that you have to necessarily be outside, but, you know, no shopping, showing your support, standing against fascism and all that good stuff. So I'll see you guys later. Love you guys. Everybody have a good night. Bye.